Hey everybody. Sorry, I was reading chat. We've already got a lively crowd in here tonight, which I love to see that. I love to see that. I'm going to try to match your lively energy tonight. It's been a long week at work. But anyway, I hope everybody's doing well tonight. We made it to Friday. Yay. So we have the weekend, or if you're like me and work on the weekends, we still made it to Friday. It's hot here. Still hot in Arkansas. Like the heat index, when I looked one time this afternoon, was like 107. So yeah, I was doing a little bit hot out there, schlepping them groceries. But anyway, welcome back to everybody, or if it's your first time here, thank you so much for joining us tonight. This is our Friday edition of True Crime After Dark. We usually do every other Friday, every other Thursday, a True Crime After Dark. So tonight we've got a lot to talk about. I just kept adding stuff. I'm like, man, we're going to be on here, for 5 hours if I keep adding stuff. But we're going to talk a little bit about the Devil's Den homicides, this whole craziness that's been going on in Arkansas. Some missing persons, as always. A couple of cold cases that have had some developments in them. Cases that we've covered. Jared McColloch is one of them. And we're going to talk a little bit about the I-70 offender. That one has been requested for a while, so we'll talk about it tonight and see what we think about that. I know Dave, Al on the Prowl, loves to talk about the I-70 offender also. So let's see who is here. Chris is here. Welcome, Chris. Always good to have you here. And this is the link when we talk about Jared McColloch. There, I pinned it to the top. It should be pinned to the top of the chat on the YouTube side. I forgot to put it in the description box with the other links. I was going to actually screen record it and actually play the video tonight, but sometimes with, my farm signal, it's the video can be a little laggy, and it was about 20 minutes long. And also posted it on my community tab. So please do watch that whole video at some point. But I do have an article to go along with it with some updates from Jared's mom, Miss Tammy. Has some updates about something about the where the truck, where the law enforcement said the truck was, and it may have been in a whole different spot, or maybe even a different state. So we'll get to that. But anyway, so that is a link. Let's see who else is here. Make sure I didn't forget anybody with my babbling. Miss Paula's here. Hello, Miss Paula. You're not watching the ball game? Are the Pats playing? Your Patriots playing tonight? Or is that? I know, and I completely forgot that preseason started last night, so I haven't watched any ball games yet. Anyway, it's good to have Miss Paula here. Yes, absolutely wonderful to see everybody here. Crimezilla is here, or checked in. Says hello, everyone. I have a big test this week. I will try to log in and see live. Excellent. If not, you can always be a replay crew. We love our replay crew. Sorry, I'm moving around. My back is hurting tonight. We love our replay crew. So yeah, everybody watch the live and on replay. Don't forget to hit the like button. Leave a comment below if you're watching replay. Share it, share it, share it. That's the most important thing we can all do is share these videos and live streams out about these missing persons and cold cases, so that as many people as possible can see them and be made aware of them. Miss Marion is here or checked in. She says, hello, everyone. She's watching the grandkids. Excellent. My oldest grandson is in Little Rock. Is in Little Rock, Arkansas. That's about 30 minutes away from me. At the Babe Ruth Little League 14-year-old World Series. Excellent. Thank you all for what you do for all the families. Absolutely. So yeah, you're one of your grandsons in I can't talk, baby, is in my neck of the woods, kind of. Like I said, I'm about 45 minutes east of Little Rock. But it is good to see Miss Marion checking in. Yep, Chris says, Marion and Crimezilla, yeah, enjoy your studying time, enjoy time with family. Absolutely. We can all spend as much time with family as we can. There's Arctic. Hey, buddy. Where's he at? Did he come up? Come on. There he is. Arctic. Imagine that. Arctic's being, what is it doing? There we go. Arctic's being unruly. Anyway. Hello, my friend. Good to see you. As always, please do check out all these. I think Arctic, I think, has been putting links in. Once again, I'm sorry. Allergies. My nose is itching. Check out Crimezilla. Check out Arctic. Check out Miss Paula. Anybody else who's here that has a channel that I haven't gotten to yet. Thank you. There is Miss Paula's link. There is Crimezilla's link. You're most welcome, Miss Paula. Yep, Chris has to ask Miss Paula if she's watching the Pats game. Oh, trouble's in the house. Echoes is in the building, or he was earlier. Better behave. He says, hola. Good to see you, Bubba. Hope you're doing well. He's probably working. He's probably at work tonight. Mustang is here. Hello, friend. Good to see you. Yep, Echo says he is ready to be done with work. Absolutely. There's Miss Doodle. Hello, one of my favorite humans. Good to see you, ma'am. Echo says, sweet, I'm number 3. That must be the little crown things on the YouTube side. I guess that has something to do with how many comments you make. I don't know. But Echoes is number 3 right now. Oh, apparently not anymore. He's not. Oh, somebody beat you. Oh, he says I should just spam the comments and piss everyone off. Watch out. Doodle will put you in timeout. She'll ban you. You'll get in trouble. Ooh, Arctic says he ordered pizza, so he's eating. We had pizza time for supper too. We had pizza and I ate way too much. I should have stopped at the second piece, but no, I had to have another one. Now I'm regretting it, but it was worth it. Good old comfort food. Yep. Doodle says, Echoes don't make me get out the break. Yes. Throw a brush at him, works every time. It'll calm him right down. It'll settle him down, I'm telling you. Yes, he's still traumatized. That was how many years ago? Probably 40 years ago or longer. Oh, goodness. Brothers, I'll never let you forget. Okay, we will do that. Echo says, someone tell my boss I'm leaving work. Oh, you are? No, yeah, you are the boss. I was going to say, aren't you a supervisor? Ah, goodness. Yes, thank you, Doodle. I got Arctic's link in. Hello, hello once again to Arctic. And there's Miss Doodle's link. What are you talking about, Echoes? Talking about salve? You may want to see a doctor about that if you need salve for something. Just saying. Oh, goodness. I'm loopy tonight. I think I've got heat stroke in my brain. All right, let me get caught up. There's Miss Dandy. Hello, my love. Good to see you. She said, I got a notification. Yeah, and I always forget to say, because I've other creators I've watched say it on their live streams and videos. Usually I'm on replay crew or watching a pre-recorded video, is to make sure you're still subscribed to all the channels that you want to be subscribed to, because apparently the YouTubes will unsubscribe you for some reason or another. So just, yeah, make sure you're subscribed or still subscribed, or subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Hit the notification bell to all so you'll get notifications when I go live or upload new videos. I did have, I think, 3 videos that I got uploaded for you guys this week. So, yay. Yay. Now I got to get to work this weekend on some more videos for next week. But yeah, just make sure you're still subscribed and got your notification bell on. And I apologize for my scratchy voice. I guess it's, I don't know, all the dust and the crap around here. Let's see. Make sure I don't miss anybody. Dave is, I don't know if Dave is working tonight. Yeah, Dave should be working tonight. He may check in. Did I say hi to Far? I think I did. If not, hello Far again. I'm just gonna leave that right there for a minute. That's good to know, Miss Doodle. Good to know. You must be of a certain age, maybe, that I am. I don't know how old you are. I wouldn't, hazard a guess. But when you get to a certain age, sometimes, not, to be TMI, but, sometimes you just can't control those kind of things. Just saying. Just saying. Yes, absolutely. Stay hydrated. Everybody, everywhere, stay hydrated. Absolutely. There's Sunday Doodles. Sunday to Doodles. Welcome. Good to have you here. Yes, we are live. I'm live. We may be live tomorrow night too, because I talked on the last live stream last Thursday or whenever it was, or maybe it was Monday night, or for the Missing Person Monday, about doing having a little fun with some conspiracy theories. So we may do that tomorrow night if anybody's up for it, because I found a couple of articles that are very interesting. Some interesting conspiracies, and I can go down, if I'm not doing true crime, I can go down some conspiracy theory rabbit holes, either for entertainment purposes or to say, maybe there's something to that. Anyway, Dandy, I don't. So now Dandy is calling Doodle a stink bug. Yes. I think you're right, Chris. It is nice to see you too, Miss Paula. Absolutely. Yeah, Miss Paula says that she's multitasking. She is also watching the Patriots. Holy moly, who are they playing? Paula says the Pats are leading 27-3. It is, granted, it is preseason, but still, who are they playing? I don't know who they're playing tonight. I think I remember looking at it earlier to see who they were playing, but now I can't remember. Yes, I love that song. Doodle says, no, I had that Reba song, Little Rock. I think I'm going to take you off. I mentioned Little Rock. Yeah, when she came, she actually, let's see, who did she come here with? We've seen her maybe with George Strait, one of the thousands of times that when George Strait was still touring, every time he would come to Little Rock, me and my mom and my aunt would go. And I think Reba came with him once. And of course, she sang Little Rock. Well, she's talking about like a little rock on a ring, but it was in Little Rock. So, of course, everybody had to make the big to-do about that. But yeah, I like that song. Absolutely. Arctic loves some Reba. And I love her as an actress too. She's hilarious as an actress. Of course, I watched her on whatever the show was, it called Reba way back when, or no, the new show. She's on the new show now where she's running the bar. So me and Mom have been watching that one. And then we watched the one way back when. Anyway, I can't think of what it was called. It may have been called Reba too. I don't know. No, football is just starting. But it seems like it's a shorter time between seasons now. And it seems like now there's always the different, football, basketball, baseball, all the major college and professional sports, they overlap now. Used to be, okay, this is football season, then you have baseball season, you have basketball season. Now it's just everything all the time. But anyway, maybe it's just me. Mustang says, I do that every time I eat pizza. Are we talking about tooting again? Oh, goodness. See, Doodle's got us started here. Uh-oh, I disappeared. Okay, I'm still on my phone. My computer is going crazy. So you're a manager now. Hold on. There we go. So Echoes is a manager. Do we like management? It depends. Yes, I agree with that sentiment. Arctic said the YouTubes, the gods are idiots. Yeah. They are. Oh, okay. Well, then you're somewhat younger than I am. 40s is young. I'm in my 50s, mid 50s. I can still be young. Doodle says nobody ever wants to take me to a haunted house. I love going to haunted houses. We used to go when we were kids and young adults, teenagers. Oh, haven't been to a haunted house in a long time. Mustang says she's 40 plus 10. Chris said he's up for some conspiracy theories tomorrow night. Sorry, my computer's running slow. Excellent. Doodle's going to grab her armadillo helmet. Get your tinfoil hats ready. Instead of get your talking about, who was it that used to say, the football player, get your popcorn ready? Oh my goodness, I can't remember who it was. Get your tinfoil hats ready for our conspiracy theories. Oh my goodness. Dandy says she tends to get arrested at haunted houses for throat punching and chopping Adam's apples. Oh goodness, remind me never to go to a haunted house with you, Dandy. Goodness gracious. What you talking about? 11 years? What? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. You talking about my age? I said I'm in my mid 50s. Almost mid 50s, exactly. Mustang says Echo still has to work as a manager. Supervisors don't do anything. I agree. Being a former supervisor in food service and retail, I always worked, but that food, I'm telling you, people, if you've never worked in food service or retail, and I'm not just saying this just because I worked 10 years in food service, 15 years in retail. With anybody who works in those two areas, what they have to put up with, either just as a manager, supervisor, just a general employee, associate. God bless, because it's not, you have to deal with people. And I'm not good. Maybe that's why I got out of it a long time ago. I'm not good with, I don't like to people anymore. I do not like to people anymore. Oh, Arctic said he's going to turn 50 in March. All his bones creak like a rusty Dodge. I feel you. I feel you. Oh, he's been you've been a manager for 11 years. Okay. Sorry, I didn't realize it'd been that long. Sorry, Mr. Manager. All right, I think we are caught up, so we will get started. Let me get a drink right quick, wet my whistle before I start reading. So I said we're going to talk about some, not really updates in the Devil's Den homicides. He does have an arraignment, or he had a court appearance, and then I think they've set an arraignment date. And then I've got a couple of articles with just horrible things that he allegedly has done, inappropriate behavior with young females. And I don't see, another thing about this case that pisses me off, I don't see how he just went from school to school to school. And I watched so many other creators, what do they call it? Something about passing the trash or something. He kept going from school to school to school after all these alleged incidents that happened that were reported by other students, by parents. And he was, they supposedly, checked into it, didn't find any signs of inappropriate behavior, yet shortly after, he would either resign, one of those, I'm resigning. In other words, you either resign or we're going to fire you, but we're not going to, let other schools, hey, this is what this guy has allegedly been up to. So, like I said, that's the other thing that pisses me off about this case, is how he was allowed to keep going from school to school to school with all these, once again, allegations. But still, you had so many people, like I said, from students to parents to faculty, that knew about, had been told what he was allegedly doing. But anyway, we'll get into that. Once again, we're going to talk about Jared McColloch, some missing persons, cold cases, talk some about the I-70 killer, offender. I know Chris has been wanting to talk about this for a while. Like I said, Dave Al loves this subject. He always likes to talk about it. So we'll be talking about that. Anyway, so we're going to start out with an urgent, okay, if I push the right button, maybe not. Did it go? Oh, did I go too far? Hold on. Okay, that's what I want to be on. Giovonni. Okay, so this is Giovonni Pelletier, or Pelletier. I've heard it pronounced both ways. So basic information. This is I always want to be positive, of course. I just don't have a good feeling about this. I hope he's found safe and sound, but this is just very strange. Basic information. This is from Charlotte County, Florida. The Charlotte County Sheriff's Office is asking for the public's help in locating 18-year-old Giovonni Pelletier. Giovonni was vacationing with his family in Inglewood, Florida, before leaving around 1:30 a.m. on Friday, August 1st of this year, 2025, to visit more family in Brevard County. He was traveling north on I-75 with his cousins, who advised that Giovonni suddenly just began to act erratically before he got out of the vehicle, and he walked away near State Road 70, which is in Manatee County. And around the same time, he apparently texted his mother and other family members asking for help. So we don't know. This could be a case of mental health crisis. It could be something nefarious going on. I've read articles, and I've got, I think, 2 articles to read. In this case, could be something nefarious, or something that went on with the cousins, a fight, an argument that did, something happened. It's just, anyway. So he texted his mom and family members asking for help. He was last seen wearing a white t-shirt, black pants, and red shoes. So if anyone has any information regarding Giovonni, his disappearance, his possible whereabouts, if you know anything, if you saw anything, call the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office at 941-639-2101. So let me get, I think I've got the articles going, or the first one. Are you talking about the Devil's Den? Well, come on. Once again, Arctic is being difficult. There it goes. Says, thank God they recognize his car because the sketches look nothing like him. Yeah. Good old sketches. Good old sketches. There's Miss PJ. Now, Miss PJ's being difficult. There she goes. Hello, Miss PJ. Good to have you here. Yes, please. Welcome. Welcome all. Please remember to hit the like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Once again, good to have you here, ma'am. Thank you, Arctic. There is Miss PJ's link. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Chris says the Devil's Den creep upset me because he got away with too many things. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Oh, no. Are you talking about Giovonni? Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. Shoot. I had a, like I said, I always try to be positive, but I just did not have a good feeling about this. Okay, let me find an article. Because I've been working all day. I haven't had a chance to check since yesterday. I hate to hear that. Okay, Miss PJ said if it's been confirmed. All right, let me okay, Miss PJ said the article I had read said not to be confirmed because it was 3 hours ago. Did they confirm it? I'll find an article. Yeah, Miss Paula says the Devil's Den sounds like a great place for hauntings. Yeah. There's Junior. Wait, where'd Junior go? I lost Junior. We can't lose Junior. Where'd he go? There he is. If he'll come up. Sorry, hello, Junior. Good to see you, sir. Get caught up. Okay, Arctic says it's been confirmed by, everything jumped again. Sorry. It's been confirmed by various friends on Facebook. Nothing from Ellie yet. Okay. Let me see right quick if there's anything. Give me 1 minute. Once again, my computer's going slow. Okay, so 2 hours ago, this is from Gulf, if it didn't throw me behind a paywall. 2 hours ago from GulfCoastNewsNow.com. A body found in pond where missing 18-year-old was last seen in Manatee County. A death investigation is underway after a body was discovered in a retention pond near Interstate 75, exit 217, and State Road 70 in Manatee County on Friday. According to the Manatee County Sheriff's Office, the body was found at the southbound ramp, and the deceased person appeared to be a male. Manatee County Sheriff's Office said the identity has not been confirmed yet. The Sheriff's Office said additional updates will be provided when they become available. Sorry, swatting ads. In the past week, the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office have been conducting a missing person investigation for an 18-year-old male named Giovonni Pelletier. According to the CCSO, Pelletier was vacationing with his family in Inglewood before leaving around 1:30 a.m. on Friday, August 1st to visit more family in Brevard County. Charlotte County deputies said he was traveling north on I-75 with his cousins, who said Giovonni began to act erratically before exiting the vehicle and walking away near State Road 70 in Manatee County. And of course, says this is a developing story, will be updated. Oh, man. So, once again, could have been mental health crisis, could have been... I will go ahead and read the article. It had statements from his mother, because I think that's the one that mentions maybe a possible argument or fight with the cousin, everybody that was in the car. But let's see if there's anything else. I think most of these articles say basically the same thing. Okay, here's one that's from 4 hours ago. Let me see what it says. Turn my camera off for a minute while I'm looking at oh, the page is unresponsive. Of course it is. Oh, come on. Oh my goodness. Sorry, once again. Oh, that's the same. Okay, that's the same. Ooh, it's hot in here. All right, let me find this article that I had up. So I think this one is from the New York Post. I believe this is one that has statements to interview with his mom and some of his, maybe an aunt. All right. Oh, goodness. I'm going to kick myself out of this StreamYard. So this is from New York Post. It is from the 7th of August. Teen sent haunting text to mom before vanishing on trip to see estranged dad's family. A North Carolina teenager has been missing for 6 days while visiting his estranged dad's family, vanishing soon after sending an alarming text to his mom pleading, quote, "Mom, help." Giovonni Pelletier, 18, was last seen around 1:30 a.m. on Friday, August 1st, when his cousins came to pick him up from where he was staying on a trip to connect with his dad's side of the family. His mom, Bridget, told People magazine. Within 30 minutes, he sent 2 texts to his mom, including one begging her, "Mom, help." The teen also called his mother at around 1:56 a.m., tried to reach her again a minute later on FaceTime. He then texted an aunt and his grandfather for help when he did not get a reply from his mom. However, his mom, who was staying with him on the Florida trip, missed the calls. She was sleeping. She woke up around 6:20 a.m. to the eerie messages from her son, along with a missed call from one of the cousins who had picked up Giovonni. Bridget said she then got a message from her son's paternal grandfather, whom he had been heading to see. That's who they were going to go see, claiming that Giovonni had fought with his cousins as they smoked some marijuana. Sorry. And then apparently he got out of the car, left on the side of the road, or either he got out of the car, or they're saying maybe they put him out of the car because he was acting erratically. So they said getting left on the side of the road in Bradenton for pulling out a knife. This is just according to the cousins. His mom says he said he didn't have all the information, but for me to let him know when I found Giovonni. I'm assuming it's just referring to what the grandfather said. Bridget eventually discovered her son's phone in his backpack, abandoned by the side of the road using GPS data. She said it was his phone in his backpack, and he would not have left that. My son eats, sleeps, showers, and breathes. Just basically does everything with the phone. She believes. Now, this is just the mom. She believes the cousins haven't told her the full story and claimed none of them had helped her in the search for Giovonni, which has spanned Charlotte and Brevard counties a combined area of around 1,700 square miles. His mom says they said they wrestled the knife from him, and then my son took off running. And she says that this behavior is completely out of character for Giovonni. So she goes on to say the cousin only called me one time, and then no effort was made to communicate with me. Sorry, everything is jumping. Sorry. So no effort was made to communicate with me. No effort was made to come back to the house to let me know. None of these kids that were with him have tried to call me and ask me if I found him, ask me if he's okay or anything. And once again, this is according to the mom. She also accused law enforcement of not doing enough to help find her son. The Brevard County Sheriff's Office did not respond immediately to requests for comment. The Charlotte County Sheriff's Office spokesperson told the Post, quote, "We do not have any updates on this investigation and continue to ask anyone with information to come forward." So Bridget and Giovonni had traveled to Florida, where his estranged father lives, in late July, along with her fiance named Jeremy and Giovanni's 4 siblings, to visit a relative who was undergoing chemotherapy. So at the time, a $10,000 reward was being offered for any information leading to Giovanni's discovery or to an arrest and conviction. So that was just the basics of how he went missing, according to his mom. Just strange. And unfortunately, it sounds like maybe not such a good outcome. All right, let me get caught up again. You are very welcome, Junior. Excuse me. Doodlebug says, looks like a beautiful place, though. Are you talking about Florida? I've been to Florida once. We just went down to Destin, Fort Walton Beach. Oh, you're talking about Devil's Den. Okay. So Arctic, I've never been to Devil's Den either, or ever. Arctic says Devil's Den is gorgeous, and in 40 years of living here, oh yeah, so that's, yeah, pretty close to you of living here. That's the first time I can recall something like this happening. I know that's the first time I recall, at least while I've been old enough to be alive and old enough to be aware of things happening, of anything like this happening in any state park around in Arkansas. It's just, anyway. There's Miss Avery. Hello. Hello. Welcome, ma'am. Good to see you. Dandy's talking about Children of the Corn now. Oh, I haven't watched that in a long time. Yes, I love that movie. Love that movie. Yeah, Dandy says some of these cases seem like people just simply vanish. I know. There's Miss Nicole from Stolen Spirits. Hello, ma'am. Good to see you. Miss Braddy usually comes in. It's good to have Miss Nicole here. Please do check out Stolen Spirits, MMIWG. I'm sure somebody's already put the link in. If not, I'm sure somebody will. Miss Nicole says, we used to go to Devil's Den for field trips in school. I would love to, because I love places like that, state parks. I haven't been to a state park in years, but yeah. All right, so back to Giovonni. Oh, I understand. Miss Nicole says, I've been missing everyone's streams. Summers are busy. Happy to be here. We are glad to have you here, ma'am. All right, so we will definitely keep up with, thank you very much. Arctic got their Stolen Spirits YouTube link. They're also on Facebook. Absolutely check them out if you do Facebook. But we will definitely keep an eye on Giovanni's case. See when it gets, from everything that Arctic said, it's pretty much I'm not going to say confirmed, but more than likely, unfortunately, going to be Giovonni, but we'll wait till it's officially announced, and then we'll keep up with it to see what, if they release COD or any, if they think it's foul play or not, or just accident or something. Anyway, okay. So next, I'll talk a little bit about the West Memphis 3. So the judge has ordered that the evidence be tested. So let me get the article going. So now I don't know when it's going to be tested, but they've both sides, Damian Eccles and his representation and the other side, have both come to terms of how it's going to be, or where it's going to be tested, what's going to be tested, how it's going to be transported. Even they were arguing. I think that was the biggest argument. Once they finally decided, the judge ordered, yes, test. You're going to have to test it regardless. There was an argument about who was going to, how it was FedEx going to transport it. Was it going to be a private courier? Anyway, it's West Memphis 3. That's all I can say. So anyway, at some point, maybe it's going to be tested. So this article is from KAIT8.com. Judge orders DNA testing of West Memphis 3 evidence. And I put it up on, I think it's on the slide of what they're actually going to test. Sweating. This article is from, it was first published on the 26th of June. It was updated August 1st. So a judge ordered DNA testing of evidence connected with the West Memphis 3 homicides. During a hearing in a Marion County courtroom, prosecuting attorney Sonia Haygood and the attorneys for Damian Eccles, Jesse Miskelly, and Jason Baldwin agreed to have certain evidence tested for DNA. So I've watched some other creators, talking about they're going to test certain things, which if you can see the list there, they're going to test quite a few things. But somebody, I can't remember who it was I was watching, mentioned that there was one of the boys' clothing, there was maybe some bodily fluids on it. And according to whoever this was, said that that was not going to be tested. And they were like, I wonder why they wouldn't want that tested. Now, take that with a grain of salt. I don't know exactly, But at any rate, so second Judicial Circuit Judge Tanya Alexander signed the agreed upon order, which stipulates that the West Memphis Police Department and the Arkansas State Crime Lab will release the evidence to an insured and bonded courier. The evidence will then be taken to Bodie Labs for testing, quote, using current scientifically appropriate DNA testing methods and current laboratory testing protocols. So the items to be analyzed include the ligatures, which were the shoelaces. And I forgot to put, hold on. I always forget to put my banner or my creeper up with the trigger warnings, but just trigger warnings for anybody. Nothing really graphic in this, but just what they're going to be testing. All right. So they're going to be testing the ligatures, which were the shoelaces of the boys, out of the boys' shoes. The ligature hairs from Michael Moore, Terry Hobbs's hair, Stevie Branch body hairs, Christopher Byers body hairs, the Boy Scout cap, hairs from the Boy Scout cap, hairs from Blue Pants, tree stump hair, dyed hair from the white sheet covering Stevie Branch, blue jeans and a blue wallet, hair that was found on blue jeans and a blue wallet, and it doesn't say which, I can't remember which boy, if it was Christopher or Stevie. It might have been Christopher that was wearing the blue jeans and had the blue wallet. Christopher Byers' ligature hair, Stevie Branch hair from his the ligature that was on him, hair from the lower body of Christopher Byers, hair from the perineum of Christopher Byers. If you don't know what perineum is, it's in the nether regions. It's what I'm trying to say, figure out how to say it. It's the area, a little area between the genitals and the anus. It's called the perineum. And the only reason I know that is because I did home health caregiving for 10 years. So that's what that is. And then one hair from a sheet that I say is an African-American hair. So that is what is on the list to be sent to be tested. So once completed, Bodie Labs will provide a written report to the prosecuting attorney, the defendant's attorneys, and the Innocence Project, of course. Copies of these reports will be filed with the court. In 2024, the Arkansas Supreme Court reversed and remanded a circuit court ruling regarding the DNA evidence following Eccles' petition. So we know all about this. So Friday's hearing comes more than a year after the Arkansas Supreme Court reversed and remanded a circuit court ruling regarding DNA evidence in the case. So in 2022 is when Damien Eccles petitioned to have newly discovered DNA from the crime scene retested using the wet vac method. This is when we need Mr. Steve here. I know kind of a little bit basics about the wet vac method, which is I think what they're going to be using, basically what they're going to be using, or one of the things they're going to be using. We need Mr. Steve to pop in here. He's a CSI guy. But Judge Tanya Alexander at that time rejected the argument after prosecuting attorney Keith Crestman said there was, quote, little evidence to show that the method was scientifically sound. So, of course, Eccles appealed the decision, and the state Supreme Court ruled in his favor. So we all know that Eccles, Baldwin, and Miss Kelly were convicted in the 1993 homicides of Stevie, Christopher, and Michael. So that's basically it. So it didn't give a date yet when it was going to be tested, but maybe if they get finished arguing over if FedEx or somebody, whoever's going to take it to the lab, maybe then they'll test it. I don't mean to be flippant about it, but this has just been dragging on so long for something that, in my opinion, just it could have been done a long time ago. Just test the evidence, regardless of if it proves anything, doesn't prove anything. No harm, no foul. I mean, come on. But anyway, I'm sure you guys have opinions. Oh, so I will get to them, and then we will move on. Let me get another drink. I'm telling you. All righty. Oh goodness, Mustang says she has a stalker that lives in Florida. Oh goodness. I think I went back too far. Here we go. Junior says he used to hang out with a bunch of Cubans and Colombians in Florida. Absolutely. Check out Arctic. And Miss PJ and everybody else. And Miss Paula. Are you talking about the West Memphis 3, Junior? Or are you talking about Giovonni? Junior says, I've never watched anything about this case. It was too sad. Yeah, this case is just, yeah, they're going to be testing, which, you know, there's always been, for some reason, people latched on to Terry Hobbs. I mean, you know, once again, we don't know for sure who, I mean, you know, they, Eccles, Miss Kelly, Baldwin were convicted, but then they were released, but they were still convicted. They pleaded with the Alfred plea. You plead guilty, but you maintain your innocence. I mean, so that's the question. Mustang says, what are they going to do if Damien's DNA is found? Yep, Good question. And I think that whatever creator, it might have been Burn After Reading. He does a lot of stuff on West Memphis 3. He might have been the one that mentioned the possible bodily fluids on the pair on one of the boys' pants that wasn't going to be tested, and he said, well, maybe there's a reason that certain people don't want it tested. Now that's just his opinion, but you know, Mustang says, not saying he did it, but that is one case I'm not sure was wrong the first time. Gotcha. Fair enough. Let's see. Yeah, Damien is a bit strange, and he does love the attention. As you know, I don't I don't have any love for Damien. I can tell you that much. I mean, I'm not saying that to say that I think he's guilty or not guilty, because obviously I don't know for sure. But yeah, he's surely, in my opinion, everything he's done through the years after this happened, he has not helped himself. I mean, it's just not a good look. Not a good look. Once again, it's just my opinion. But, you know, just, yeah. Anyway, I got you. Yep, I see. I hear what you're saying. Yep, Miss Paula's got a good point. Says it better not come back to Damien. He will lose everything. Yep. Yeah, and he's not hurting for money, I'm sure. Is his wife, is he still married to Lori, or did they, I thought I read somewhere they were getting divorced, but I could be wrong. Chris says, in his opinion, he thinks Hobbs and Jacoby are the guilty parties. Fair enough. Yeah, and they're testing, so they're testing Terry Hobbs' hair, and then one of the things mentioned that they're going to test is what they call the tree stump hair, and that allegedly, they said that was similar to Jacoby's hair. Yeah, I've never understood I mean, I understand the basics of the Alford plea, but to me, it just, you know, you're still convicted. You know, they're saying you're guilty, but you can maintain your innocence. You can say, hey, I'm pleading guilty, but I'm maintaining my innocence. Yeah, to me, it's never made sense. I understand the concept of it. It's just, but I agree, it's stupid. Mustang says she could see Hobbs doing it. Paula says, I think that Chris Morgan could have been involved too. Was that one of the ones that ran off to or went to California? One of the two. There's two boys that went to, or two young adults, males, that went to California that they looked into. All right, I think I'm caught up. Okay, thank you, Miss Paula. That's what I thought. All right, so absolutely, we will keep it as we have been for how many years this is case going on now. We will keep an eye on it, and when and if when they get the DNA tested, we'll definitely let you know. And if anything, if they find anything one way or the other, most definitely we will talk about it. Absolutely. Right. So next, oh goodness, so here we go. Next, we have this alleged psycho. So let me get the first article going. He does have an arraignment date. It was rescheduled, actually. Once again, my computer's being slow as usual. So this is from fox16.com from the 4th of August. Arraignment has been rescheduled for Devil's Den double homicide suspect. So the arraignment for a Springdale man accused of taking the lives of a couple at Devil's Den State Park. And I'm going to put this piece of POS here took the lives of these two beautiful souls right here. Took them away from their two or three. They had three daughters, actually. Two of the daughters was with them, but they, in my opinion, died heroes, protecting their children. So I'll put their picture back up in a minute. The arraignment has been moved up according to court records. Andrew James McGann, 28, was arrested on July 30th, charged with 2 counts of capital homicide on August 1st. He is accused of fatally stabbing Clinton David Brink, 43, and Clinton David Brink, 43, and Kristen Amanda Brink, 41, of Prairie Grove on July 26, who are hiking with their 2 daughters. Get rid of the ads. So McGann appeared in court on August 1st for his first hearing, and he was appointed a public defender. A Washington County prosecuting attorney, Brandon Carter, requested that McGann have no contact with the victim's family. Absolutely. McGann was ordered to be held without bond. His arraignment was originally set for August 25th, but a court filing dated August 4th from Washington County Circuit Judge Joanna Taylor said that McGann's arraignment was moved up to August 14th at 8 a.m. So what's today? Today is the 8th. So in about 6 days, he will have his arraignment. So Carter has said that the state has not ruled out the DP in the case against McGann. Arkansas State Police previously said that McGann did confess, or they called it an admission, to the homicides, and that DNA found at the crime scene matched his DNA. Arkansas State Police said the attack on the couple was random. Now we will discuss, well, let me finish this and then we'll discuss. So a preliminary report from the Washington County Prosecuting Attorney's Office said dispatch received a 911 call from Devil's Den State Park on July 26 from someone saying that they found 2 bodies on the trail and a, quote, large amount of blood was present. The hiker found 2 girls. They led them off the trail to safety before attempting to look for their parents. That hiker then found the bodies of the parents on the trail, according to the report. Arkansas State Police investigators arrived at the park. They interviewed a person at the park who said they saw someone get into a black sedan with blood on his face and drive away onto State Highway 170. A second witness said the black sedan was a Kia Stinger, and like I think Arctic said earlier, thank God they figured out what kind of vehicle he was driving, because the sketch didn't match too well. So on July 28th, an autopsy was performed on the 2 victims, and preliminary findings showed both victims passed away or died by homicide by stab wounds. So on July 30th, police located the suspect's vehicle at Lupita's Beauty Salon in Springdale, which I think is about 30 miles or so away from the state park. In Springdale, around 4:58 p.m., investigators walked into, and you guys, you can just Google on Google or YouTube. You can find the video. They actually had the video from the security cameras inside and out of the beauty shop of him being arrested. So investigators walked into and it was like less than, I think, 5 minutes after he sat down to get his haircut, they came in and got him. Investigators walked into the barber shop and asked about the vehicle in the parking lot. A man who was receiving the haircut, Mr. McGann here, this numbskull here, a man who was receiving a haircut, later identified as McGann, said he owned the vehicle. I don't think he's the brightest crayon in the box. So the report said investigators noted that while speaking with McGann, they saw cuts on his hands. He was then detained. Investigators entered his vehicle. Was then seized and the court into his in is the basic 14. He's going to have women's posts. I mean, I don't know what all they do at an arraignment. I don't watch the court side of cases, but at any rate, I'll let you know whatever comes of that. I'm sure he'll plead not guilty. It's sad that the DP is on the table, and I don't know about a plea deal. I mean, they may offer him one. I don't know, especially if the DP is on the table, because usually when the DP is on the table, they'll offer a plea deal. Now, whether or not they're going to offer it, or if they do offer and he accepts it, who knows? I'd wait and see. But at any rate, let me know in chat or in comments if you're watching replay. Do you think if they offered him a plea deal, do you think he would take it? I don't know. Because I think basically, isn't that what Kohlberger did? I'm not comparing this case in any way to that case, but you know, I would have never thought in a million years, just in my opinion, that Kohlberger would have taken a plea. But I mean, when the DP is on the table, it, you know, kind of changes things. Oh goodness, hold on, Strayer kicked me out. My let me get caught up. I'm getting that back up. Get the other loading about. Then we can about I'm gonna have to say alleged things that he was doing with inappropriate behavior with females. And if that had anything, because, you know, obviously everybody's, you know, motive. What was the motive? Why did he do it? In my opinion, and like I said, I've watched lots of professional creators, or, you know, who are law enforcement or psychology, whatever. I watched Dr. Grande. If any of you guys have ever watched Dr. Grande, no, he's an acquired taste, but I do like his takes on things. But he did a video discussing what the motive could have been, and I tend to agree. He gave it basically. It was either he just was a thrill kill. It was gonna went out there. He was going to just take somebody's life that day. Was one of his theories, and then he had 3 other scenarios for it being about the girls, just because of his history with inappropriate behavior with young females. And then I think I watched, who is it that does Hidden True Crime? Is her name Lauren? She just said, I don't know if she gave an opinion, but she did a short video on it, and just her summation of it was just so respectful and so eloquent, and just, I think I shared both of them on my community tab. But anyway, okay, I think on let me get into your comments one more time. Find where I was at. Okay, there we go. This is true, absolutely. Arctic says, just because someone is a total whack job doesn't make them a murderer. That is true. If that was the case, half of my family would be on death row. Hey, I can think we can all basically say that about at least one member of our family. I do agree. Just because you're maybe considered not normal by conventional standards, or a little weird or wacko or whatever, doesn't mean that you're going to go out and take somebody's life. I absolutely agree. So Paula, so going back to You're talking about Chris Morgan. Ms. Paula says, if I'm right, his house was located at the start of the entrance to Robin Hood Hills. I did not know that. Thank you for that information. All right. Mustang says his goose is cooked. They have DNA. Absolutely. Yep. They have DNA, and they have what they're calling as of right now an admission. I don't think, saying, of course, in news articles, I say it was, he confessed, but every time I've heard law enforcement actually talk about it, I said they're just calling it an admission of guilt. Which, I mean, I don't, semantic, I guess, admission of guilt, it's all the same thing, but that's just me. Absolutely. Our heroes. Heroes, absolutely. Maybe fixing to kick me off the computer again. Arctic says he's an example of the dangers of ordering a Backstreet Boy off to me. Oh, hey, don't be talking about my Backstreet Boys. Come on. Stang says, I hope the prosecutor does do what they did with Colbert. See, I haven't kept up with it. I know he took the plea deal, but I don't know exactly what all or whatever. Arctic says he skated way too long with inappropriate actions. Absolutely. And these next two I'm going to read, excuse me, I talk about all his, or a lot of his inappropriateness. And he kept going from school to school, and they just kept letting him teach. Oh, Mustang says, sketchy match. Absolutely. Yeah, it's my farm signal, Junior. Junior said I was in my farm signal. Miss Cole said, there it is. And the school that allowed him to resign with no repercussions should be held responsible for their part. I agree 100%. 100%. You talking about taking a plea deal? Arctic says he would be stupid not to, given the evidence against him. I agree. But like I said, I don't. No, just my opinion. I don't think he's the sharpest knife in the drawer. That was a bad analogy. The brightest crayon in the box. I'm just saying. Yeah, Mustang says already proven that he is not too bright. Okay. I'm caught up. So, all right. See if my article came up. Oh, goodness. It's still loading, of course. Oh, come on. There it goes. All right, I'm back. Lord have mercy. Now, hold on, I got to get my one day. Slash. No, I don't want the extra camera. In a minute. There it is. Oh my goodness. Hold on. There we go. Okay. All right. Before we were so rudely interrupted by StreamYard kicking me out. Thank you, Junior Johnson, $5 super sticker, super chat. Thank you so much, sir. Very much appreciated. Let me find the cow. Oh, goodness gracious. I've lost the cow again. There she is. Thank you so much, Junior. That is very much appreciated. Thank you so much, sir. Junior's a longtime supporter. First got to know or see Junior in Mr. Steve's chats. Oh, okay. All right, now, so what did this alleged creepo do? So this first article is from the New York Post from August 1st. It says Devil's Den homicide suspect Andrew James McGann would tickle girls, told one, quote, "I wish you could be my girlfriend." So this is according to parents at one of his former schools that he taught at. So the teacher accused of taking the lives of two parents in front of their at Devil's State Park in Arkansas once put a little girl, once again, trigger warning for anybody, once put a little girl on his lap, asked her to be his girlfriend at his former Texas school. Excuse me, and this is according to a disturbed parent told the Post. So Andrew McGann, 28, who authorities say admitted to taking the lives of Clinton Brink, 43, and Kristen Brink, 41. Quote, put the little girl on his lap and said things like, "I wish I could date you. I wish you could be my girl." I had even reading this out loud. "I wish I could date you. I wish you could be my girlfriend." Just really nasty, like grooming behavior. This says Zachary Pollock, whose son attended Donald Elementary School in Flower Mound, Texas, when the accused offender taught there. The dad says this monster was around our children. So this was the dad who said his son was occasionally in McGann's class on Fridays, so just one day a week. But that, to me, that's one too many. So Pollock goes on to say Mr. McGann was giving a lot of special treatment to girls in particular. He was giving them candy, bringing them Sonic drinks, playing tag with them, tickling them, just really suspect behavior. So the North Texas School District, Louisville ISD, told the Post that McGann was placed on administrative leave, quote, following concerns related to classroom management, professional judgment, and student favoritism, while he was employed during the 2022 and 2023 school year. Favoritism. So this is a post from one of the parents, Lindsay. I'm assuming it's maybe from Facebook or something, but it's in the article. It says this sick individual taught fourth grade at a. I'm not going to say the child's name. When he was in the fourth grade, he was occasionally in the guy's class on Fridays. S told me during the year he gave candy away and brought Sonic drinks to class, but only for girls. And I thought that was super bizarre. Then he heard from other kids that McGann hosted at lunchtime in his classroom for special girls. He also mentioned how often Mr. McGann played tag with girls during recess. I saw the guy at the school on multiple occasions and wondered why a single man in his early 20s was interested in teaching young kids, which I don't have a problem with that. I mean, not all 20-something males or females, for that matter, have an affinity for inappropriate behavior with children. But so he seemed charismatic and was usually surrounded by kids, especially little girls. Other parents and teachers commented how much the kids liked him, and I heard moms talk about how hot he was. I don't see it, but okay. By May of 2023, parents of girls affected going to the school and district with allegations of him tickling and asking girls to sit down, giving treats, their looks. By the end of the school year, McGann was placed on administrative leave for inappropriate classroom behavior and favoritism and was allowed to resign from the school district. He was not fired. She goes on to say he subsequently allegedly went to 2 other school districts in Oklahoma and was about to start teaching at an Arkansas elementary school before he brutally took the lives of these parents at a state park in front of their young daughters. It absolutely shook me to see his mugshot after he was apprehended. So she says, my questions are, did McGann exhibit the same grooming behaviors in Oklahoma? Did his escalate? And why is it so difficult for school districts to terminate the employment of teachers exhibiting inappropriate behaviors? Anyway. Okay, so that was a post from one of the parents. However, their internal investigation, hold on, something just popped up. According to the school, quote, their internal investigation found no evidence of inappropriate behavior with students. So McGann resigned in May of 2023, according to the school district, but Pollock expressed outrage that he was let off so easily. She says it should have been an immediate firing with reports to Child Protective Services. That was the dad of the son that had the class one day a week. So another lady named Sierra, whose son was in McGann's fourth grade class at the Texas school, shared that the alleged offender was strange and standoffish during her previous encounters with him. She said he was pretty cold. You could ask him a question and he would give you a one-word response. Overall, just pretty disinterested in his students. Well, except for the little girls. She said that he was, quote, the most standoffish teacher that she had ever met. She reported some of his behavior to a principal after her son came home upset. Sorry, I'm having to get past ads. She says, eventually he told me that he and some other classmates had noticed that Mr. McGann was very touchy and showed a lot of favoritism to certain girls in the class. She says, I guess what he's charged with did surprise me because while I thought he was off, I never thought that he was violent. So McGann was hired the next school year to teach 5th grade at Spring Creek Elementary in Oklahoma, which told the Post thorough background check turned up nothing to indicate that he should not be hired. So my question is, he may not, so a background check would mean he would have been at the very most convicted of something, maybe charged with something. I'm not sure about what all you get with a background check. But why didn't, to me, they should also contact if you're hiring a new teacher or thinking about hiring a new teacher, why would you not at least make a call to the other schools, unless it was this first, applying for the first teaching job? Why would you not call make a call to the other schools? Hey, what did you think of this teacher? Especially if they saw he resigned or something of that nature, or he was disciplined for you know, what did they call it? Unprofessional behavior and favoritism. I would be calling the schools and saying, okay, what exactly did he do? Allegedly. Apparently they didn't do that. As with all district employees, McGann underwent and passed all legally required national background checks, and this is according to a statement from the school district, adding that no alarms were raised during his interview and that there was never reason to discipline him during his tenure. So McGann was set to start a new teaching job at Springdale in Arkansas Public Schools. Springdale Public School Superintendent Jared Cleveland confirmed McGann had been hired for the teaching job, but said that he, quote, has not at any time come into contact with Springdale students or the families we serve. So let's just go into the information we've already talked about. He talking about the crimes. He was charged with capital homicide. He appeared in court on Friday, was ordered held without bail, and investigators have yet to determine a motive for the attack. So that's just one article. I have another one. We'll just skim through it and see if it has anything different from any other behaviors. Let me find the right one. Just unbelievable. I just don't understand how he kept going from school to school to school with these. I mean, you know, just at the very least, what they call favoritism, unprofessional behavior. All right, so this other article is from NBC News. Teachers suspected of taking the lives of Arkansas hikers alarmed parents with odd behavior. This one is from the 2nd of August. So 2 years before he was arrested in the homicides of 2 Arkansas hikers, Andrew McGann was known to some parents at a Texas elementary school for his pattern of off-putting behavior around their kids. I think this is the same mom, Lindsay Pollock, whose son would spend some days in McGann's classroom at Donald Elementary in the town of Flower Mound, Texas, said she and other parents grew concerned that he was not properly teaching their children and felt that they were falling behind academically. She also noticed what she characterized as McGann's grooming of girls in the classroom. She says, my kid would come home and say, Mr. McGann loves to play tag. He plays tag at recess every day with the girls, adding that her son told her that McGann gave out, once again, the candy and special prizes only to the girls. In a group chat with other 4th grade parents, Pollock said that she learned that McGann arranged special lunches where certain girls, quote, would remain in his classroom. Some parents alleged that McGann encouraged girls to sit on his lap. These details about his background emerged after he was arrested. McGann's motive remains a mystery. Arkansas State Police Director Mike Hagar told reporters that officials have, quote, no reason to believe that there was any known association between the suspect and the victims. Arkansas authorities, they say they do not believe that the daughters were the intended target of what appears to have been a random attack. I think maybe, don't know what he thought. If he was, my opinion, I think the girls were the intended targets. Now, how he thought if he was going to do something with them there, try to kidnap them and take them somewhere else and do something, how did he think he was going to get away with it? But once again, that goes back to me saying I don't think he's the brightest crayon in the box. Or was it just his intention to just randomly just take the lives of whoever just for the thrill? So Pollock learned about McGann's arrest at a barbershop after a parent sent her a link to a news article. She said, I was like, holy S, this is McGann. This is the guy who is teaching my kid. He had no business being around children. Another parent named Megan, whose child attended Donald Elementary, described McGann as odd. She recalled that he was unnecessarily competitive with the kids during field day athletic contest. She said other parents would chat about his strange behavior, though not everyone was necessarily alarmed, and some believe he was simply insecure as a new guy in the community. No, there's a difference between being insecure and being a nutso. So in a statement, the Louisville Independent School District said McGann was, quote, placed on administrative leave in the spring of 2023 following concerns related to classroom management. That's what it is, classroom management, professional judgment, and student favoritism. Internal investigation once again found no evidence of inappropriate behavior with students. So the Texas Education Agency said it had no record of state investigations into McGann, but placed a flag on his teaching certificate on Thursday following his arrest. So it took him taking the lives of two people, protecting their daughters, for them to, we might put a flag on it. Anyway. So McGann resigned from the school district May of 2023, according to Louisville School District. He then moved back to Oklahoma, where he got a job as a 5th grade teacher at Spring Creek Elementary in Broken Arrow for the 2023-2024 school year. In an interview with NBC News, a woman whose son was in McGann's class at Spring Creek said he was, quote, pretty quiet, but all the kids loved him. The woman who spoke on the condition of anonymity because of concerns about potential harassment said her son admired his teacher and started wearing polo shirts to school, quote, because that's how Mr. McGann dressed. McGann expressed an interest in wrestling, hiking, and the outdoors, and at one point he started a running club for the kids. She noticed that McGann was frequently, quote, awkward around the parents and struggled to make eye contact during parent-teacher conferences. He once joked that he taught elementary school students because he was, quote, afraid of adults. Now, somebody asked me or made a statement, possibly maybe something happened to him in his childhood. Possibility, I don't know. I mean, but why would you joke? I mean, joke about being afraid of adults. Once again, even if something did happen to him in the past, that absolutely does not excuse what he did. Absolutely not. So in a statement, Oklahoma's Broken Arrow Public School said McGann, quote, voluntarily resigned at the end of that year to pursue employment elsewhere. The district said there were, quote, no disciplinary actions taken against him during his time at Broken Arrow Public Schools, and nothing in his background or reference checks gave cause for concern during the interview process. So his next stop was Northwoods Fine Arts Academy in the Tulsa suburb of Sand Springs, where he worked in the 2024-25 school year. He again taught 5th grade and again resigned his position at the end of one academic year. And this is according to a statement by Sand Springs Public Schools. So it's not clear why McGann decided to relocate to Arkansas, but he had lined up another teaching job there with the Springdale Public Schools. So once again, it goes into the crimes. We've already talked about that. See if there's any more. Okay, so it has a statement or some statements from the lady that was cutting his hair when he was arrested. As I said, the killings kicked off a manhunt that lasted 4 days before police tracked the stinger of the vehicle to Springdale, where McGann was getting a haircut. The barber named Adriana said that she got a strange feeling about him almost immediately. She said that she tends to have a good read on the customers who come into the beauty shop. An unassuming family-owned beauty salon in the Arkansas town of Springdale. That's why her guard went up when a tense-faced 20-something in baggy khakis stepped into the salon on Wednesday afternoon and tersely asked for a high fade haircut. So she started giving him the haircut, but kept a close eye on her customer. She had been following news reports about the frantic search for the suspect, and the man in front of her seemed timid, barely saying a word and keeping his head down. Roughly 5 minutes into the haircut, a law enforcement officer walked inside. He said he was looking for the driver of the car parked outside, and he had a few questions for the customer, Mr. McGann here. So after that, McGann was handcuffed and taken away. So it says that Adriana watches a lot of true crime documentaries. It made a point of keeping McGann's hair clippings on the floor in the event that they could be useful to investigators hunting for DNA evidence. And she said in the hours after his arrest, she had trouble just calming down. She said, I felt nauseous all night. I did not fall asleep until 6 a.m. I was just thinking about them, about the mom and dad. The Brinks, like McGann, were recent transplants to Arkansas. They had moved to the state about 3 weeks ago, according to the father's sister, Katrina. The family said that Clinton and Kristen, quote, died protecting their little girls. Absolutely. And the families in the brief family statement said they deserve justice. So once again, McGann has been booked on charges of capital homicide. Jail records show authorities said that McGann's DNA matched DNA found at the scene. He made statements to investigators, quote, indicating that he had committed these heinous acts. Oh my God, I feel like I want to throw up now. Wow. Anyway, it's unbelievable how I don't know. I don't know. Sorry, I got to take a hit on the vape after all that. How did he get away with? I agree with whoever said earlier. I forget who it was. I apologize about the school system, or these schools should be held accountable somehow for not. I mean, I don't understand. Don't understand it. Oh, that's never good. Artie said, I had an English teacher like that in high school, only the special attention was toward boys. Oh, man. Yeah, okay. I get your point. Arctic says a lot of schools won't say anything because without a conviction, saying something opens them up to a lawsuit. Fair point. I see that, but still. Yep, he was allowed to resign rather than being fired, which sucks. Absolutely. Oh, Miss Paula said the Pats won 48-18. Who did they play? Yep, Junior says, I would freak out. Sir, you would probably do more than freak out. If a teacher touched one of my daughters, absolutely. Daughters or sons, whatever the case may be. Yeah, Junior says, being fired would be the least of his worries. Yep. Yeah, the artist said the town would suddenly have a new speed bump that had been in my daughter. Absolutely. Possible, Mustang says. Maybe his excuse is revenge for those parents that got him to resign. I don't know. And oh shoot, there's another article. Okay, let me get caught up in comments because the other day it came out that law enforcement in Vermont had called the Arkansas State Police, I think, or the FBI, or one of the agencies here. I think it was Arkansas State Police. In regards to, now they say they don't have any proof that but in connection to another homicide or to a homicide in Vermont. So I'll read that article in just 1 second. So, I mean, show of hands or opinions, do you think he's done something like this before, or this is his first time? I think that was the debate with Koberger too. Once again, not comparing the two cases, but there's just some similarities. Just, there was a always been questions of Kohlberger, if that was his first time with his crime. Yep, I have no doubt that you would be in jail, Junior, and I have no doubt that we would bail your ass out. We would be there for you. So Arctic says, I think it was random, hence him entering the park with duct tape on his tag. So do you think it was random? He's just going to looking to kill somebody, or looking for young victims, or both? Okay, Arctic says, I should have read, he planned to unalive someone, but not a particular target. I agree. Yeah. His plan didn't go as planned. Well, unfortunately, part of it did, but I mean, at least the God bless once again. Let me find them. Where did they go? God bless these two individuals here, these two beautiful souls who died protecting their daughters. Hold on, my comments jumped again. Junior said he would be afraid of adults after I got through with him. Absolutely, sir. Miss Paula said, talking about douchebag there, or not the ones on screen, the one hidden. I'm not sure which is more distracting, his nostrils or his ears. I know. And I don't see, I almost threw up a little bit in my throat when I read that some of the parents thought that he was hot. Ugh. Those ears can pick up HBO. That's true. Junior says the scary thing is that there is more of them out there. Absolutely. All right, so they're playing the Commanders. Gotcha. Thank you, Miss Paula. Doodle says, oh, he would get a left, right, good night. Absolutely, ma'am. Doodle thinks definitely not his first time. Mustang says his butt will be a pincushion in prison. Oh, no, I haven't. Junior says, have you ever listened to the podcast, They Walk Among Us? I have heard of it. I have not listened to any of it. Definitely, absolutely will check it out. Miss Doodle says he has probably been thinking about it for years. Absolutely. Yeah. At the very least, I think, yeah, he's definitely thought about it, fantasized about it, planned it. Not very well. But I wonder if he's done it before. Doodle says it's those horn ears that is common with weirdos. Yep. Doodle says, seriously, it makes me cringe when I see those horn ears. All right, let me find that other article. I forgot about that one. 1 second. Hopefully I remember to save it. Yes, so take that down once again for a second. So this article is from 5newsonline.com. ASP, Arkansas State Police, probed by Vermont State Police about Andrew McGann, possible connection to a 2023 homicide. And this article is from the 7th of August. So the Vermont State Police has reached out to their Arkansas counterparts to discuss Andrew McGann. Vermont State Police is currently investigating the homicide of Honore Fleming, a 77-year-old woman who was reportedly GSW'd and killed on the Delaware and Hudson Rail Trail in October of 2023. The investigation into Fleming's homicide is ongoing, and no arrests have been made at this time. 5 News reached out. Stop it. Dang ads. 5 News reached out to Vermont State Police for comment on the possible connection to Andrew McGann. They said they routinely contact other departments to investigate possible connections but they cannot comment on specifics as the investigation is ongoing. VSP has confirmed that at this time there is no known connection between Fleming's homicide and the Devil's Den homicides. So anyone with information on the Fleming case is asked to contact Vermont State Police at 802-773-9101. Hold on. So I thought that was interesting. But once again, it's different age group victim. Well, yeah, because I believe the mom and dad were maybe in their 40s, maybe, and this was a 77-year-old woman. So we got the age difference, and then we got Miss Fleming was GSW'd, and then you had the Brinks were stabbings. So I don't know. I mean, like I said, they said it's just routine, but I wonder what, being as the age, the victim age difference, the different mode of, GSW versus stab, why would they, because it was at a national park. That's the only similarity that I see between the two cases, is that it was both at hiking trails, state parks. So, but interesting nonetheless. What do you guys think? And then we will move on. Let's see. Yes, Mustang says that they should take a look at cases near where he taught. Absolutely. And yeah, there is talk, law enforcement or the FBI, or one of them was talking about they're going to look into if there is any similar type crimes that happened in the areas that he taught at. Why is my phone not charged? Oh, it's charging. During the time that he was there. Or to leave it to Arctic says, on the upside, he is perfect for when the prison presents a live action version of Dumbo. Goodness. Yeah, Artist says he definitely won't fare well in prison. Yep, absolutely. Mustang says, way to go to the Arkansas State Police. It only took 4 days to get him. Absolutely. Absolutely. Kudos to everybody involved. Yeah, Arctic said that they did great on this case. Absolutely, I agree. All right. Oh, my goodness. Oh, goodness, what did I do? Okay, thought I kicked myself out. All right, so once again, any other developments, next thing that should be coming up for him will be the arraignment on, what I say, the 14th. It'll be all over the local news here, so I'll be sure to let you guys know. Like I said, I don't know what all they do during an arraignment. I guess he puts in a plea, or they tell him his charges. He puts in a plea, whatever. Hey, patriotism. Oh, there he is. Just showing some love. Thank you so much. Good to see you. Always good to see patriotism here. All right. So next, so Jared McColloch. This is a case that a lot of us, I think, I've talked about it in live streams. I don't think I've done a short video yet. I will get one done, but I've definitely talked about Jared's case in live streams. I know Arctic's covered it, Doodle's covered it, probably everybody we know has covered it, but it can never have too much attention. Jared McColloch. So there's been a new, once again, the link to the video should still be pinned to the top of the chat on the YouTube side. It's about a 20-minute video. I have not had time to sit down and watch all of it, but I will. I'm going to. So I'm just going to read the article, but please watch the video. Absolutely. Let me find so first, for anybody who might not be familiar with the case, just a little bit about the case. The article, though. This is from newsnationnow.com from December of 2024. Jared McColloch disappeared while on a last-minute trip from Louisiana to Illinois. His truck and 2 dogs were recovered, but his disappearance remains a mystery. A construction worker, McColloch was known to be as serious as he was silly, with his antics including the time he sampled ostrich food at an outing to a zoo near his Louisiana home, or teasing his beloved dog with the sound of a newly repaired clock. So when his oldest son needed help in Illinois, McColloch responded, rounding up his dogs and firing up his 2020 GMC truck for the more than 500-mile trip from Marion, Louisiana to Sandoval, Illinois. Tammy Repond, who is Jared's mother, was on the road herself in November of 2023. She didn't know about her son's last-minute trip, but wasn't surprised to find that he took his dogs, Roxy, May, and Rusty, along for the ride. After driving through the night, Jared pulled into a gas station in Carmi, Illinois, on the morning of Sunday, November 5th, 2023. After the pump gave him problems, he went inside to pay. His dogs remained in the cab of the truck. After an uneventful exchange, Jared went directly to the counter to pay in cash before returning to his truck and heading out. But when he left the gas station, McColloch turned left, heading east and north away from his destination. At some point, McColloch's truck drove across the Cannonball Bridge, one built in the late 1800s that's now equipped with a toll booth, and locals say apparently it's haunted. The truck then crossed the Wabash River and headed into Knox County, Indiana, and the next day a passerby reported seeing it on the side of the road. So the truck was out of gas, the ignition was on, the battery was dead, both doors were open, and Roxy, May, and Rusty, the dogs, were waiting faithfully for McColloch to return. So deputies called Miss Tammy, his mother, with the news. And at the time, McColloch, she was just about to be, hold on. So at the time, McColloch was just about to be clear of 5 years supervision following a 5-year prison stay. Jared's cousin, Samantha, said, Jared is one of the brightest people that I know. So Wilkinson, which I believe is the cousin, and others searched the area where the Wabash and White Rivers converge, and not far from where his truck was discovered. His mom pored over cell phone records that she said show Jared's last phone calls that came from his oldest son's mother in the hours before his truck passed into Indiana. And she still laments an unreturned text. She says the text said, "Where is that?" And I did not text him back because Jared always missent text. So he sent me a lot of mistaken texts before, so I didn't think about it at the time. I wish I had. I wish I had responded. I wish I had called him. I will always regret that. And despite suffering from essential tremors, Jared's stepfather, Andy, also works to keep his case alive. He and his wife still pay for his cell phone. His stepfather said, "I do call it occasionally. I send a text, but no reply." So there was a possible sighting of Jared. So it says his dogs now live with his mom and stepdad. 2 possible witnesses who can't share what they know about their owner's disappearance. Okay, just talking about the dogs. Says the dogs may have been scratching on that back window in the dust. So, I mean, did they witness it, or did they see something? And this, according to Miss Tammy, you know, when they were just inside the truck and couldn't help, I wish the dogs could talk. I really do. His mom said that she found a witness who saw her son looking frightened at a restaurant in San Francisville, Illinois, with two men sitting close to him. The witness's grandson pointed out the dogs waiting in the truck. The sighting aligns with cell phone records from before Jared disappeared. News Nation spoke to the Knox County, Indiana detective working the case. He said it is an active, open investigation, and there is little that he can share. So we got the missing poster there, but Jared is 5 foot 9 inches tall, around 179 pounds, with blonde hair. He has several tattoos. He was last seen wearing a light blue shirt, dark blue Skechers, and a brown Carhartt jacket. And anyone with information should contact the Knox County Sheriff's Office. So that was just the background. Sorry, it's hot. On his case, his disappearance. So apparently, Miss Tammy, his mom, has found some discrepancies of where, maybe it was some of the law enforcement said that his truck was, and maybe where it actually was. So this is once again from newsnationnow.com. Jared McCullough's disappearance sparks questions after new photos. And this is from August 4th of this year, 2025. So it says, when Jared McCullough's son called him for help in November of 2023, he rushed from Louisiana to Illinois right away. However, the father of four disappeared, stupid ads, before he could come to his son's aid. Go away. McCulloch was last seen leaving an Illinois gas station in the opposite direction from his intended destination. Once again, he crossed the Wabash River into Knox County, Indiana, where the truck was found the next day, abandoned, doors open, battery dead, without gas, and with the two dogs inside. However, new questions have been raised after Tammy Repond, Jared's mother, told Missing's Marnie Hughes in an exclusive interview, and that's the video, that she has photos that show a major discrepancy between where police marked her son's vehicle as found and the actual spot that the truck was located. So Miss Tammy's friend and search partner, Terry Bonvicino, says, by the police photos, we were able to pinpoint exactly, by the picture, exactly where the truck was parked, and it was nowhere near the marking. In fact, Repond estimates that there are 25 miles of distance between the two locations. So Miss Tammy saying, and her search partner says, from where police marked it was, and from pictures that they've come across, wherever they got the pictures from, they pinpointed that there's a 25-mile difference. So that's, I mean, if it was just a few feet, yeah, I get to see, but 25 miles, that's a good distance. So Tammy said, after seeing the truck, it makes me feel more that he did not bring the truck there himself. So Jared had no ties to Knox County, Indiana. He had no reason to visit, as it was in the opposite direction of where he was going. Rejoining Missing almost 2 years after her son initially went missing, Repond said that the accumulative information, including the new photos of the truck, told her that, quote, whatever happened in Illinois. So Knox County, Indiana police continue to investigate the disappearance. So that is the new update in Jared's case. Like I said, please watch the video. I'm anxious to get the details about where they got the photos, and how they pinpointed and got all this information. Let me get back into your comments. But yeah, just please, and I think if I haven't done it already, I will reshare this missing poster once again on Facebook. And there is a finding, I think it's called Finding Jared McColloch Facebook group or page. I know I'm in it or on it or whatever. I'm friends with Facebook friends with Miss Tammy. She's just the sweetest woman ever, I'm telling you. And I forgot to, I'll text her and let her, or not text her, message her on Facebook Messenger. I was going to let her know earlier that we're going to be talking about this Jared's case tonight. But anyway, so yeah, check him out on Facebook. If anybody can find the, let me see if I can find the, somebody might can find it before I can. The I think it's called Finding Jared McColloch. It's a Facebook group. If I can get my tabs going here. Let's see if I can find it right quick. Of course, for some reason it takes forever. Let's see if I can spell right. There it is. All right. Copy. All right, here is the link to the Facebook group. Should pop up in chat. All right, let me get into your comments. I know Miss Tammy's just, yeah, absolutely. She's, like I said, she's just, like I said, just from, you know, just communication through Facebook and Facebook Messenger with her. It's just, she's just the sweetest lady. And just my heart goes out to her, absolutely. Yep, Doodlebug said the same thing. Tammy is the sweetest woman. Yes, ma'am. Oh, Doodle, Miss Doodle, if you're counting on Arctic to keep you in line. Oh, yep. Arctic says, I don't believe for a second that he put that truck there himself. I also believe he was not in the truck alone, but that's just my opinion. Absolutely, because I think I did do, I don't think the whole live stream maybe was about Jared's case, but we talked a lot about it, gave details, because I believe they found either, I hope I'm not getting cases mixed up, cigarettes or a vape or something that did not belong to Jared. They found it, I think, in the passenger side little cubby things that are in the doors. Or is that Jared's case? Please correct me if I'm getting my cases mixed up. But they found something that indicated to them that he was not in the truck by himself. That there was something or somebody in there, somebody else in there with him at some point. Doodle agrees. She says, I believe whatever happened elsewhere. Absolutely. Yep. Just like Miss Tammy said, his dogs tell the story if we could just get them to talk. Absolutely. There, once again, there's the link to the Facebook group if you do Facebook. Hey, Miss Lisa Joe. Good to see you, honey. Welcome, welcome. You're fine. You're fine, dear. You can always be replay crew on what you missed. Oh, Miss Lisa Joe says that there are tons of issues with his car due to time discrepancies during the daylight saving switch. That's what I thought. Oh, thank goodness I got it right. I did not want to speak, especially with this case. Argent says both cigarettes that are in question and a vape. See, that's what I was thinking. They found cigarettes, a vape. apparently that either didn't belong, didn't belong to Jared, belonged to somebody else. But yeah, it's just, I'm gonna have to look into this again and do one of my short, or maybe a case spotlight videos that I've been doing on Jared on this case. Lisa Jo says, if I'm thinking of the right case. Well, yeah, well, I don't know about time. It could very well could be, but this new thing that's coming up is from photos that Miss Tammy and her search partner have found somewhere. Like, once again, I haven't had time to watch the whole video yet. It's about a 20-minute video. They found like a 25-mile discrepancy over where law enforcement had pinpointed to where his truck was found to where they say it actually was when it was found. And I mean, I think it would be, we'll put it in a completely different state. So like a 25-mile difference. Oh, my phone is always done. So yeah, I'm definitely going to watch that video and research Jared's case, most definitely, with these new developments, these new pictures. And God, like I said, God bless Miss Tammy and that family, and just hopefully they will get some answers soon. Thank you, Junior. Thank you, sir, for being here. Always a pleasure to have Junior here. Have a good night, sir. I know you're at way past your bedtime. Oh, goodness. Okay, so now let me get another drink and see. I think we got a couple of cold cases we're going to cover really quickly. And then we'll talk a little bit about the I-70 offender. And then we might have to do a whole separate live stream at some point on the I-70 offender, because there's a whole lot to that. Okay, so Lisa Jo says, yes, daylight savings cause a bunch of issues. Gotcha. All right, so this, we're going to start. Actually, this is a Arkansas case. This is a Mary Bobo Shinn. And apparently, here recently, they did a search. Is this what I'm thinking about? A search somewhere. Excuse me. Pizza's backing up on me. Let me find the article. First, I'll give a article. Actually, it's wrong one. Did I forget to? Oh, man. Oh, no, there it is. Never mind. I thought I forgot to bookmark the operator error. Okay. So first, a little background for anybody not familiar with this case, if it'll come up. So this is Mary Jimmy Bobo Shinn, once again, Arkansas case. This article is from nwahomepage.com. 2024. So a scorching July afternoon in 1978, Mary Shinn, known affectionately as Bobo by everyone in the small town of Magnolia, went to a show home to a stranger. The next day, Shinn's blue Buick was discovered parked, unlocked, and abandoned in the local grocery store's parking lot. She has not been seen for 46 years. So it's been, 47 years or so now. So Mary Jimmy Bobo Shinn was an art instructor with a studio in town, dabbled in flipping houses for profit in her free time. 25-year-old Shinn had recently renovated a house on East McNeil Street and was preparing to sell it. On July 19th, 1978, she received a call from an unidentified man interested in viewing the property. Shinn and this man met around 4 p.m. for a showing. And then during the meeting, the man falsely claimed to own land on Taylor Highway that he wanted to trade for this house. So the next day, July 20th, he called Mary at around 11 a.m. saying that his car was being repaired at a Jordan Brothers Pontiac, and she agreed to meet him at the nearby Easy Mart. Once again, I'm going to get rid of ads. Stop. I don't want you to send me notifications. So a witness at the Easy Mart described the stranger as a white male in his mid-20s, around 5'8" tall, between 185 to 200 pounds, with dark curly hair and a distinctive gait or walk. Shinn picked the man up around noon, marking the last time that she was seen. Her blue 1976 Buick Special, unlocked with keys in the ignition, was found abandoned at Smitty's grocery store an hour later. Former Columbia County Sheriff Mike Lowe, who joined the case 10 months after Shinn vanished, is still looking for answers. Lowe, who was then 27 years old, had gone to college with Mary. He says, I kind of cut my teeth on that case, and actually I got too emotionally involved in it. It taught me a lesson. I never got emotionally involved in another case after that. So Shinn's purse was found missing, only her address book, while her tennis shoes under the pedals suggested that she may have driven barefoot. Whoever the suspect was, he was meticulous. Her car, recently washed, had a light dust film and a scratch resembling contact with a small branch. At some point, the suspect lifted on the service station rack to remove debris, grass, and seeds from the tire treads and under the belly pan to clean up any remaining evidence. Detective Lowe said that they pulled debris from the tire treads and grass and seeds from up under around the belly pan. They vacuumed the carpet looking for hair and fibers and whatever they could find. They dusted it inside and out for prints. They did a really great job. The investigation faced several obstacles, such as lack of DNA evidence, technology, and false media reports about Shinn's occupation, with many newspapers and stations mistakenly identifying her as a realtor rather than an art teacher with a real estate hobby. This led to calls and leads from across the country, as women in real estate have been abducted, assaulted, and their lives were taken nationwide, according to Lowe. Despite Lowe's efforts and Shinn's family hiring multiple private investigators over the years, no visible explanations for Shinn's disappearance have been found. Foul play is suspected. A funeral for Mary was held at Central Baptist Church in Magnolia in 2014, and both of her parents and her sister have passed away since her disappearance. Current Columbia County Sheriff Leroy Martin allows Lowe to continue working on the case with support from local deputies. Lowe believes that whoever caused Mary's disappearance is still alive and residing in Columbia County. So her physical description, she was 25 years old when she went missing, white female, 5'6", 120 pounds, with dark brown or black hair and brown eyes. Her nickname was Bobo. She had a scar on her left cheek and discoloration on her forehead. Unknown clothing. It says she was wearing several pieces of jewelry, including a one-of-a-kind, custom-designed gold necklace with 3 diamond pendants. So if that necklace was ever to show up anywhere, so if you have any information that could assist in solving this case, contact the Columbia County Sheriff's Office at 870-234-5331. So that is the background, once again, for anybody who might not be familiar. But apparently, the FBI did some searches. Once again, the article is low. So this is from myarklamiss.com. Once again, all the, as always, all the links to the articles I use are in the description box. It is from the 5th of August, a few days ago. So on August 5th of 2025, the FBI, the Columbia County Sheriff's Office, the Arkansas State Police, and Magnolia Police Department were in Busey, Arkansas, or Bussey, I don't know, Bussey or Busey, Bussey, actively searching the Sharman community, Sharman, after receiving new leads in a decades-old missing persons case. And this is Mary Shinn case. Once again, dang ads are slowing everything down. So according to officials, investigators were using cadaver dogs in the area. Former Sheriff Mike Lowe was present during the search, having served as a lead investigator when the case was first opened. So no other details are available at this time. This is all the information we have at the time, and we will update you with more information as it becomes available. So I thought that was very interesting because I have been following since I came across this case on researching cold cases, especially Arkansas cases. But yeah, very interesting. Interesting to see if I'm sure if they would have found something, because this was on the 5th and today is what, the 9th, so 4 days ago. So I say surely if they would have found something, they would have said something, but maybe not. They could have found something, and obviously they keep things to themselves, so we'll see. Hopefully something will come of it. Absolutely. Okay, so Lisa Joe talking about, let's see, going back to Jerez, plus crossing the time zones. So yeah, was it from Indiana to Illinois? Does it change time zones? Mustang says, I'm glad I didn't block anyone. I dropped my phone. Okay, so that was Mary Shinn. So I came across this, actually popped up in my Google recommendations. Okay, so Lisa says, I think so. See, I can't remember where the time zone changes are. I can't remember. Because I can't remember even where it changed when we drove from Arkansas to Arizona. I don't know how many time zones we crossed. Maybe one. Would it be one time zone from Arkansas, going from Arkansas to Arizona? Or would it be two? I don't know. I can't keep it with time zones. I know Central Time Zone, which is what I'm in, and Eastern Time Zone. Anything west of me, I don't know. So I can't help you. I'm sorry. All right. So let me get this article. This is Denise Porch, and this, like I said, this one just popped up in my Google suggestions when I went to search for stuff, and I found it interesting. So just basic from the Trolley Project information. So this is Denise Newsom Porch. She's been missing since July 31st, 1975 from Charlotte, North Carolina. She's a white female. She was just 21 years old when she went missing. She'll be 71 years old as of 2025. At the time she went missing, she was 5'6" and 145 pounds with blonde hair and blue eyes. So Denise was last seen in Charlotte, North Carolina on July 31st, 1975. She was employed as the manager of Yorktown Apartments on Tyvola Road at the time, and also resided in the complex. She left a note for her husband saying that she had left to show an apartment to a prospective renter. She was last seen at around 3:11 p.m. and she showed a man around the property. There were no signs that a struggle had taken place inside their apartment, and the air conditioning and television set were left on. She left all of her personal belongings behind, including her Camaro and her purse and ID. The only things missing were the keys to the vacant apartments in the complex and a log of available units, which she would show to prospective tenants. So probably that she had those with her, assumably, when she was showing apartment to whoever this guy was. She has never been seen again. An extensive search did not produce any clues as to her whereabouts. Her family had her declared legally deceased in 1982, 7 years after her disappearance. It is not believed that Denise left of her own accord. Her family says that she was happy with her life at the time of her disappearance. She and her husband had just celebrated their first wedding anniversary. And her husband, who is now deceased, always said that he believed that she had been abducted. So Larry Gene Bell emerged as a possible suspect in Denise's case in the mid-1980s. A former electrician, he lived on Cherry Crest Lane in 1975, which is approximately 300 yards from the Yorktown apartments. Larry Gene Bell was found guilty of the homicides of 2 young women from South Carolina in 1985. He was sentenced to the DP. He maintained his innocence in Denise's case, and he was never formally charged in connection with her disappearance. He is also the prime suspect in several other young women's disappearances and presumed homicides in North Carolina, including that of Sandy Cornett, who went missing in 1985. So it says Denise physically resembled Bell's other victims, and authorities believe that he was involved in her case. He got the DP in 1996, although his lawyers attempted to reverse the DP by claiming that he was mentally ill and believed that he was Jesus. So another possible suspect who tried to extort a $50,000 ransom from Denise's family after her disappearance, this just turned out to be a scumbag who's just trying to get money. He was not involved in her abduction. So once again, Denise was declared legally deceased in 1982. Her disappearance remains unsolved, and foul play is suspected in her case. Her family says it is extremely uncharacteristic of her not to contact them. So that is the basics of her case. So if you have any information, you can call the Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department at 704-353-1000. So, so this article popped up in my Google feed. And it is from July 31st of 2025. So it says 50 years later, mystery still surrounds Charlotte woman's disappearance. So Denise Porch vanished without a trace, once again, just almost like into thin air, from the Yorktown apartments in Charlotte in 1975. Nearly 5 decades later, her family and police still hold out hope someone will come forward with answers. The Yorktown apartments off Tyvola Road became the site of a mystery that would baffle police for half a century. Channel 9 reported in 1975 that the property manager, Denise Porch, who was then 21, disappeared. A bystander got a good look at the driver and told police that he favored the man in a police drawing. So here we go again with the sketches. Denise was recently married to her husband, Dean, who never got over the loss of his wife and believes that she was abducted. And once again, he is now deceased. So Denise's younger sister, Diane, said they grew up in the small town of Denton in Davidson County. She says, we always came back home for birthdays, Christmas, Thanksgiving. My mom did all the cooking. So Denise got married in 1973 and moved to Charlotte, where she got a job at the Yorktown apartments. And her sister said, my mother did not like that idea at all. So Denise was last seen on July 31st, 1975 at around 3:11 p.m. Her sister says her husband calls us. He called at 7:30 that night and asked my mom if Denise was at the house. And she said, no, I have not seen her today. Excuse me. That evening, her husband comes home and realizes her car is outside, expects to find her inside. And this, according to Lieutenant Brian Crum, who is the Charlotte Mecklenburg Police, with the Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department's Missing Persons Unit. He says it appeared as if she just vanished without a trace. Her car, purse, and ID were left behind in the apartment. Lieutenant Crum says officers were concerned about that. They started to canvass in earnest. This was after the husband had asked around to see, have you seen Denise? So years passed without answers, and the family eventually declared Denise deceased. Her sister says, I know my mother was not happy at doing it because that was her giving up, and she never gave up until the day that she died. She was hoping that somebody would turn up, or that something would turn up. So for us, it doesn't change anything. We want to find Denise, but that could be more difficult now. People who may be witnesses could have passed away now that it's been decades since the vanishing. Lieutenant Crum says, we know that some folks had last seen Denise riding in her car with two folks who were unidentified. No one knows who they are. He says that wasn't unusual at the time. She might have somebody hop in the car to drive them over to take a look at a particular unit. The structure of the police department was different. In 1975, a CMPD did not have a missing persons unit. It says the Youth Bureau investigators would work the missing persons cases. Cell phones obviously didn't exist. DNA was unheard of. Lieutenant Crum says you can fingerprint everything you like to, but it does not give you the full story. Denise's sister says, my mother was just pitiful, and she lived the rest of her life like that. She, in her mind, thought that she would see her again, but she did not. Horrible. So once again, it says call Crime Stoppers at 704-334-1600 if you have any information regarding Denise's case. No bit of information is too small. We always say that. So this is one that I don't think I'd heard of before this article popped up in my news, in my Google feed. So I'm going to most likely end up either clipping this down and making a short video or doing a completely separate missing video for this case. All right, let me get into your comments, and then we will talk a little bit about the I-70 offender. All right, let me see where I left off at. I think once again, I think I went too far. Here Arctic, yeah, Arctic says, oh Lord, not the powder blue 1980 tux. I know, I remember those. So, oh, that powder blue, definitely 80s. Gotta tell you. Oh goodness. Doodle says she was thinking the same about the tuxedo. Yeah, Miss Paula, definitely suspicious. See, I'm wondering, I said, I'm gonna have to deep dive, get on the Google machine, and try to find some more stuff. I mean, did they find my first question, just with this information in this article, is did they know who the man was that she was showing the apartment to? Did they talk to him? They said somebody saw him, got a description of him, but did anybody see him after that? That's my question. That would be my first question. Charlotte, yes, I believe it is North Carolina. Let me make sure. Yeah, I believe Charlotte is North Carolina. Sometimes I get my Carolina cities mixed up. I know Charleston is in South Carolina. I believe Charlotte is in North Carolina. But somebody please correct me if I'm wrong. Yes, Arctic says it is North Carolina. Hey, JP, did I miss you coming in? I'm sorry if I missed you, sir. Hello, hello. The Forgotten Artist, aka the artist formerly known as JP. He's gonna have to get a little symbol like Prince did. Good to see you. Thank you very much, Arctic. There is a link to JP's channel, new channel. please do check it out. Oh, Miss Farr's still here. She said she was eating lunch. Did you have something yummy? I'm telling you, this pizza I had is baking up. I I got that from Mr. Steve. You know that. Doodle says I love when she says she's going to get on the Google machine. That's what Mr. Steve calls it. He's always fight. He was they say he was always fighting with the Google machine. Oh, I love it. I love Mr. Steve. Yeah, we had a Mr. Steve sighting for anybody that wasn't here. He popped into my one of my live streams. I can't remember if it was Missing Person Monday or last Thursday or whenever. And then he popped into somebody else's chat. Oh, he was in Dave's chat this weekend or last weekend. So we've had some Mr. Steve sightings. Instead of Bigfoot sightings around here, we have Mr. Steve sightings right now. He's doing well. He said he may get to come home, maybe sometime soon. But we all know he's out doing the good work, helping these families. Oh, goodness. Arctic says, Doodle now has blackmail material of me in a powder blue tux. I better behave. Oh. Doodle says she can neither confirm nor deny. I know, the Google machine. Got it from Mr. Steve. Oh, excellent. Mustang says, yes, Mrs. Steve calls it that too. I saw Mr. Steve in Cryptex chat earlier today. Excellent. So we have another Mr. Steve sighting. So maybe he is getting some rest and some relaxation. Yes, thank you, Doodle. Absolutely. For anybody who may be new here or anybody that has been here and has not already checked out Mr. Steve, why? Please do seriously check out Mr. True Crime Web, Mr. Steve. He has a YouTube channel. They have the True Crime Web Foundation. Let me see if I can grab that link really quick. I know I have it bookmarked. Which is a nonprofit they have that allows him and his team to go out and help families who have missing loved ones or unsolved cold cases free of charge to do anything that there's a link to truecrimeweb.com to help these families with missing persons or, unsolved cold cases, to help these families free of charge. Anything he can do to help them out, try to get some answers, some closure. One of the many reasons that we love Mr. Steve. Yes, we will summon Mr. Steve. How do we summon Mr. Steve? Get some mannequins or something? Still get some of his creepy mannequins? Or start talking about Waffle House. I bet if we start talking about Waffle House, he'll appear. Maybe. Yeah, Doodle says, now wait, so we have never seen Mr. Steve and Bigfoot or Batman at the same place. Oh, Mr. Steve is Batman. I'm Batman. I would love to hear Mr. Steve say that line. I'm Batman. Yeah, he said the other day, because I said I was joking with him when he popped in whatever live stream it was of mine, or ours. It's our live stream, not just mine. Said somebody with technical graphic skills needs to make a meme of Mr. Steve's face on a Bigfoot body. And Mr. Steve says, I'm not admitting anything, but there's never been a Mr. Steve sighting and a Bigfoot sighting at the same time. So now Doodle has got to go and add Batman into the mix. Oh, goodness. So there is. Please do check out truecrimeweb.com, which is the website, and do check out the channel, which is also True Crime Web. Yes, Doodle says that is why he is so good at solving cases. Yes, we do. Mustang says we need a Mr. Steve signal. Oh, what kind of signal could we have? Oh, yes, we got to come up with Batman has the bat. We got to come up with something for Mr. Steve. A Waffle House sign, something like that. We need the Waffle House logo. Yes, waffles and true crime. Yep, Doodle. Yep, Mr. Steve better watch it if he's lurking out there somewhere. Doodle's catching on to him. Yes, we have like a Waffle House logo that can be the signal for Mr. Steve. Oh goodness. Okay, guys. All right, we'll talk a little bit about because Chris, I don't know if Chris is still here. He may have given up on us already. I hope not. Sent me the link to this article about the I-70 killer. I think it's a fairly new one. Yeah, it came out August of this year. So let me get another drink right quick and then see what the article says, and then just a little bit on the from Wikipedia. It has all the. I know Wikipedia is not the most reliable, but it has all the information in this one place. So let me get the article up. Okay. Once again, oh, there we go. So this is from fox2now.com. Once again, thank you to Chris for sending me this. Ongoing search for I-70 killer continues 33 years later. And like I said, Dave also is very interested in this case too. Once again, this is from August of 2025. Nancy Kitzmiller was a 24-year-old employee working at Boot Village in 1992 at Bogey Hills Plaza when her body was tragically found in the back room of the store by customers. Kitzmiller had graduated, excuse me, from the Fort Zumwalt School District and recently finished schooling at Oklahoma State University. So again, getting rid of ads. According to the St. Charles Police Department, her death was ultimately linked to the homicides of 6 other women along Interstate 70 across Indiana, Missouri, and Kansas. So over 30 years ago, an unidentified serial offender known as the I-70 killer traveled along the interstate, taking the lives of multiple women with the same weapon and ammunition. And that's one thing this article goes into is not the fact that he used a firearm, but it's just a very, from what I understand, a very unique firearm. So now, 33 years later, the search for that serial offender is still ongoing. According to the St. Charles Police Department, the suspect was described as a white male, mid-20s to mid-30s in 1992. The unknown offender is suspected to be currently 2025. So the suspect was also described to be about 5'7" tall, 140 to 160 pounds, with light brown to red hair and beard stubble on his face. And on the slide there, on the very right-hand side, is one of the sketches. There's a bunch of sketches. Once again, with the sketches. So the suspect allegedly began his homicide spree on April 8th, 1992 in Indianapolis, Indiana, when he took the life of a 26-year-old woman named Robin Fuldauer at a Payless shoe store. I remember those. Are Payless shoe stores still around? I don't think I've seen one in forever. So 3 days later, the suspect took the life of 32-year-old Patricia Magers and 23-year-old Patricia Smith at La Bridal Shop in Wichita, Kansas. So later that month, 40-year-old Michael McCown, who was, I believe, the only male victim, his life was taken in his shop, Sylvia's Ceramics in Terre Haute, Indiana. And police said McCown was the only male victim in this series of homicides. So police state that the suspect potentially mistook McCown for a woman due to his long hair after allegedly watching the victim from outside the ceramic shop. The suspect then headed to St. Charles, Missouri, where he took the life of Kitzmiller at the Boot Village. Then 4 days later, he took the life of 37-year-old Sarah Blessing at the store of many colors in Raytown, Missouri. So Fox 2 reported that police said that he used an unusual weapon that has been linked to 5 other homicides. Officials say, based on ballistic evidence and witness statements, the firearm was a .22 caliber, possibly an Intratec Scorpion or an Irma. I hope I'm pronouncing these right. Irma Work Model ET-22. Once again, we need Mr. Steve. He knows about firearms too. So for years, officials have been asking gun collectors and dealers to notify them if they see such a weapon or had one stolen in the early 1990s. So the most recent advancement in the cold case was in 2021, when Fox 2 reported 5 different police departments met with the FBI to review evidence with advances in forensic technology. So there is a $25,000 reward that is still being offered for information involving the case, and anyone with information is asked to call the St. Charles, Missouri, sorry, I'm sweating, police at 636-949-3200. So I don't know that much about firearms, but apparently the firearm, that the gist of this was apparently the sorry, I gotta wipe my face. The particular firearm that he used was very unique, apparently. Oh my goodness. Okay. So now let me bring up just the Wikipedia information. I don't know if it's got how much additional information it has. First, before that, let me check your comments because I think I saw, yes, I did. Hello, Miss Barbara Hall. Welcome, welcome, ma'am. Sorry, God, my nose is itching. Good to see you, ma'am. Always good to see Miss Barbara. So we were talking about Mr. Steve and we summoned Miss Barbara. Maybe if we talk about Miss Barbara, we'll summon Mr. Steve. Maybe that's how that works. Miss Barbara's going, what the hell are y'all talking about? Paula says the tech today could help. Absolutely. It's fine, Miss Barb. You get a hall pass. You get you have a tardy slip pass. Okay, Arctic says Payless stores are long gone. See, I thought that I hadn't seen any or heard about any in a long time. Sorry if my okay. Okay, so now JP is back under his other alias. Welcome back, JP. Good to have you back. Yeah, Miss Barbara says, I remember these cases. It was crazy in Missouri, but when isn't it? Unfortunately, that is true. Unfortunately. Good to see you back, JP, aka the Forgotten Artist. Oh, sorry, my phone was dinging. You have 4 channels? What? How do you have 4 channels? Hello, Silent Running 12. Good to see you. It's a new name for me. Once again, unless it's somebody that I know that has a different name. JP, are you cloning yourself under different names? Oh, that was you. Oh, was that you dinging me? Okay, hold on. Let me check my messenger. I have to do it on my phone. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Wait a second. Oh, goodness gracious. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I know I went wonky there for a minute. What did I do? Okay. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, I meant to do that. Okay, let me check. Oh, where does the notification go? Hold on. I'm trying to check my messenger. There it is. No, I don't want to do that. Okay. Oh, that is a, okay, let me see if I can. Bear with me, guys, 1 minute. Dadgummit, can I not save that picture from the messenger? How do I save a picture from messenger or download a picture from messenger? Hold on. Share. No, I don't want to do that. John JP says right click as save. I'm on my phone. I can't. I'm not on my, it's on my phone. It's not on my computer. Go to my gallery. Where's my screenshots? There it is. Okay, hold on. 1 second. 1 second. Oh. I'm trying to do everything sideways on my, okay, there we go. Trying to do everything sideways on my phone here. Okay, and save. Okay. All right, 1 second. There it is. Might take a minute. There we go. Okay. Let me check it on my, there we go. I did it. Thank you. All right, so there's the picture that, sorry that took so long, guys. There is the picture that Arctic sent. He says that is, let me take this comment down so we can see it. The gun that they are looking for. That is a very, so this was in what, the 70s? I have never seen a gun that looks like that, exactly like that. That is wild. Okay. Oh man. Thank you, Arctic. So I couldn't get all the pic. I think this is something that maybe the police put out. This is a firearm pictured above is an Irma Work ET-22. It's a 22 long rifle caliber semi-auto pistol with a Luger action and an 11.75-inch barrel. As you can see, it's unique looking due to the barrel length and the wood forestock under the barrel. Some people refer to it as a carbine. We believe this model firearm or one similar to it was used to take the life of 6 shop clerks at small retail stores located along Interstate 70 and Interstate 35 between Indianapolis and Wichita, Kansas. Awesome. Thank you for that, Arctic. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That is excellent. Yeah, I did have no clue. I didn't, like I said, I didn't even have time to look up to see what the gun looked like. So thank you for that. Yeah, that is definitely, we get, how would you hide? I mean, it would be hard. Well, I don't know. Hard to conceal a firearm like that. I mean, the barrel is so long. Anyway, Artist says JP has more aliases than Jimmy Hoffa. I'm telling you, he's, goodness gracious, he's always coming in. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Are you talking about Payless? So Miss Barb says I still have them in Missouri. Are you talking about Payless shoe stores? I don't think we have any left in Arkansas. So JP has 2 topic channels and 2 personal channels. Man, I can't even keep up with one. I mean, I do have a second channel. I don't know what the crap do I call it. I keep changing the name of it, just to do fun stuff, like 80s stuff, and or 80s 90s stuff and music and things. I haven't posted anything on it in forever. I think I do have a link to it in the about section of this channel. There's no way I could keep up with 4. Okay, so you release under John Paul Henson Music Original and the Forgotten Artist, or the 2 names. Gotcha. Yeah, that is crazy. Yeah, I haven't seen. I hadn't even thought about Payless until I was reading that article. So Barb says, talking to JP, I was trying to listen to some new music today. How do I find them all? What did you send to me? Did you send me a picture too? Oh, there's one of JP's John Paul Henson Music Original. See, now he's back under the Forgotten Artist. There's the Forgotten Artist channel. The Doodles got it in. Lisa Joe, you have more channels? What? Okay, JP says, I don't control the topic channels, DistroKid does. Okay. So, yeah, Miss Barb was talking about Payless shoe stores. Wow. That's good. JP says, I'm paid up for another year to release music thanks to the better half. Yes, she's a good woman. Absolutely, always. Justice for Timmy D's. All right. So thank you once again to Arctic for that picture. Yes, that now I'm definitely interested in this firearm because that's I've never, ever, ever seen a firearm that looks like that. All right. So go over, let's see, we've been here almost 3 hours. Give us a little bit of time to go over the so let me take that down right quick. Go over the Wikipedia, because I think there was the ones that he was hold on, okay, almost keep myself out. The ones that the 5 or 6 that he was definitely linked to with the firearm, but I think on Wikipedia there's some that he may be suspected in. So according to Wikipedia, once again, the I-70 killer is an unidentified American serial offender who is known to have taken the lives of 6 store clerks in the Midwestern United States in the spring of 1992. His nickname derives from the fact that several of the stores in which his victims worked were located a few miles off of Interstate 70. The victims were usually young, petite, brunette women. One of the victims was a man, but once again, it is believed that the offender mistook him for a woman due to the store having a woman's name and the victim having long hair. The stores were all specialty stores and usually robbed of only small amounts of cash. The offender is also suspected of shooting 3 more clerks in Texas during 1993 and 1994. Sorry, one of whom survived, as well as a 2001 homicide of a store clerk in Terre Haute, Indiana. Despite the case being featured on Unsolved Mysteries, America's Most Wanted, Dark Minds, and People magazine investigates, the offender is yet to be identified, and investigators have not publicly identified any suspects. So if you look on Wikipedia, it has several, 1, 2, 3, 4 different sketches. It has the one that I have on the slide, and it has 3 other ones. All of them look completely different. Every one of them look completely different. Okay, so the 1992 spree, Robin Fuldauer, so it began with her on April 8th, 1992. She was the one that was at the Payless Shoe Source in Indianapolis. She was alone in the store when she was shot. Sometime around 1:30 p.m. Her body was discovered in the storage room in the back of the store around 3 p.m. and less than $100 had been stolen from the cash register. So next was Patricia Magers and Patricia Smith. They occurred on April 11th at the La Bride d'Elegance bridal shop in Wichita, Kansas. Patricia Smith was 23, and the store's owner, Patricia Magers, was 32. As this was the only case involving multiple victims, investigators believe the offender was under the impression that there's only one woman in the store at the time. The women had stayed past the normal closing time of 6 p.m. to allow a male customer to pick up a cummerbund. Sometime after 6 p.m., the women allowed the offender into the store, thinking he was the customer that they were waiting for. After the women were killed, the actual customer arrived to pick up the cummerbund and came face to face with the I-70 killer. The customer noticed that he had a gun, and the offender asked the customer to come with him to the back of the store. The customer refused, after which the offender told him to leave the scene. So why did he? I wonder if he was wearing a mask or something. I mean, why would he let him leave? So had the customer cooperated with the offender, he almost certainly would have been a victim as well. The customer was so frightened that he did not report the incident until more than an hour had passed. He later provided details for a composite sketch of the offender, describing him as a slender white man with reddish hair, armed with an Uzi-style firearm. So yeah, with that picture, once again, with that long barrel, let me find it. Yeah, that would... Yeah, I was trying to think. It looked like some kind of old-timey, yeah, an Uzi. That's what it reminded me of, with that long barrel. Oh, shoot. Didn't want to do that. Okay. Next was Michael McCown, the only male. On April 27th, Michael McCown, 40, was in his mother Sylvia's ceramic store in Terre Haute, Indiana, around 4 p.m. McCown's wallet and less than $50 were stolen from the store. No witnesses reported seeing the offender beforehand. McCown was the only male victim of the spree, and is believed by investigators that the I-70 killer chose the store because the store's solo woman's name, which was Sylvia Ceramics, seemed to make it a good target. It is believed that McCown was mistaken for a woman because he was reported to wear his hair in a ponytail, and he was GSW'd from behind while he was kneeling to stock shelves. So that makes sense. Next was Nancy Kitzmiller. On May 3rd, 24-year-old Nancy Kitzmiller life was taken while working alone at Boot Village, which is a footwear shop in St. Charles, Missouri. She opened up the shop at noon and was found deceased by customers at around 2:30 p.m. She had been GSW'd in the back of the head. She was supposed to be off that day. However, she agreed to come in so that a co-worker could have the day off. Some money was taken, from the cash register. Although no one heard the shot, a witness did see her with her final customer just minutes before her death, and this sighting helped police to create, once again, another composite drawing. So next we had Sarah Blessing. The final confirmed homicide occurred on May 7th in Raytown, Missouri. The victim was 37-year-old Sarah Blessing, who is working in her gift shop called Store of Many Colors. The homicide occurred during the day, and the owner of the video store next to the shop saw the offender enter the shop, heard a pop, and then saw him leave. He discovered Sarah's body after checking to see what had occurred in the store. A clerk at a nearby grocery store also saw the suspect. That witness said he was climbing a hill towards I-70. So those are the confirmed ones. So suspected, turn my camera off for a minute while reading this. 1993 Texas homicides. So investigators believe the I-70 killer may be responsible for 2 homicides in 1993 and an attempted homicide in 1994, all of which occurred in Texas. The 2 homicide victims were 51-year-old Mary Ann Glasscock. Her life was taken on September 25th, 1993 in Fort Worth at the Emporium Antique Store. And 22-year-old Amy Vess, who was shot to death in a dance apparel store in Arlington on November 1st. Their surviving victim was Vicki Webb, 35, who was GSW'd on January 15th, 1994 in Houston at the Alternatives gift shop. She briefly talked to the shooter before he GSW'd her in the back of the head. The bullet did not penetrate into her head due to a large vertebrae being hit. The offender attempted to GSW her again, but his firearm misfired and he left, presuming that she was deceased. The MO of the Texas offender was very similar to the I-70, and he used a .22 caliber firearm, the same caliber as the I-70 killer. A ballistics test determined that the gun used in the Texas homicides was not the same as the one used in the I-70 homicides. However, so investigators have not been able to confirm that the I-70 killer was responsible for the homicides in Texas. So then we jump to 2001 and Terre Haute. In November of 2021, Terre Haute police announced that the I-70 killer was a possible suspect in the 2001 homicide of 31-year-old liquor store clerk Billy Brossman. On the evening of November 30th, 2001, Brossman was working alone at the 7th and 70 liquor store in Terre Haute. Security camera footage showed a white male suspect enter the store, pulled a firearm on Brossman, and robbed the cash register. The footage then showed the suspect lead Brossman to the back of the store, took his life with a single GSW to the back of the head. The homicide of Brossman occurred just 7 blocks from the homicide of Michael McCown and was similar in MO to the I-70 homicides. Unlike in the I-70 homicides, security footage of Brossman's offender exists, and police have stated that they have a person of interest in that case. So whether or not it is the I-70 or not. So the investigation, the homicides were conclusively linked after a St. Charles detective suspected a connection. All of the homicides were committed with a .22 caliber firearm. The victims were usually petite young women with long dark hair. Aside from the Wichita homicides, all the victims were alone. All were GSW in the back of the head. None of the scenes had any signs of SA. And while all the stores were robbed, robbery appeared to be a secondary motive, as all these stores were small specialty businesses which did not have much money. The homicides took place at slow times of day when the stores were deserted, such as after lunch or around closing time, and several of them were in strip malls near I-70. So back to the gun, the firearm. Based on witness testimonies, police strongly believe that the weapon may have been an Intratec Scorpion pistol or an Irma Work ET-22 pistol. They have not, however, been able to rule out any other 22 caliber firearm models. The ammunition was 22 caliber, copper-clad lead bullets. The casings of the cartridges show traces of jeweler's rouge. I don't know what that is. Midwest authorities linked the offender to the shootings in Texas in 1994, but Texas authorities were not convinced of a connection, as different guns were used in each spree. Based on witness descriptions, investigators were able to produce 2 composite sketches of the offender and a physical description of the suspect. The I-70 killer was described as being a thin white man in his 20s or 30s, 5'7" to 5'9", with lazy eyelids and sandy blonde or reddish hair. During the initial investigation, 2 individuals were investigated and eliminated as suspects. Donald Waterhouse from Dyer County, Tennessee, was arrested in June of 1992 for the homicide of his mother and stepfather. And while in custody, he was investigated as a suspect for the I-70 homicides by Kansas authorities. Waterhouse, who was 37 years old, was eliminated due to differences in height, age, and hairstyle. And the other one was Sean Patrick Goebel from Asheboro, North Carolina. He was arrested in 1995 for the homicides of 4 women committed in North Carolina, Tennessee, and Alabama. He was named a suspect in the I-70 case by Missouri authorities, but ultimately, due to differences in MO and physical descriptions, he was eliminated as a suspect. In 2021, the St. Charles, Missouri Police Department published age-progressed versions of the original composite sketch to show what the offender may look like today. So investigators believe the offender is between 52 and 70 years old if he is still alive. So that is the info that we have on the I-70. And I don't think, let me see if I can find, give me 1 minute. Let me see if I can find the age progressed photos, because they're not on Wikipedia. Let's do come on. If I can spell. There we go. Okay. Let me go back over here. Take that down. Let me see if it'll share my screen. Once again, these are sketches. We all know about sketches. All right, so these are some of the, I don't know if you can see my cursor on the screen there. Age progressed photos. Because see, even that composite sketch, the original composite, is different from the one that I had on the slide. And so here is the 4 different composite sketches. I mean, I don't know. They may look I don't know. Maybe the shape of the face, but maybe similar, but they all look different to me. There's another, the age progressed. He looks like some actor. Who does he look like in that? Oh my goodness. Looks like an actor in this one. Dang, I can't think of his name right now. Anyway, there was just some interesting. All right. Let's see what you guys got. Put that back up there. All right. Man, it's hot in here. Goodness. Okay. Get back down to where I was at here. Wait a minute. Miss Barbara's talking about carrot cake. What did y'all talking? No, I'll leave for 2 seconds and y'all start talking about cake. Now I want cake. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, there's where I was at, I think. Thank you, Miss Farr. Gifted a Southern Gal True Crime membership. Thank you, ma'am. So you get to put another cow in the pasture. Oh, hold on. My cow likes to hide from me. There she is. Thank you so much, ma'am. As very, very much appreciated. Thank you, and congratulations to whoever got it. Y'all be able to see it on the YouTube side. Was it Miss Paula? Oh, come on. Miss Paula got it. Yay! I think Miss Barbara got the last one. Welcome, Miss Paula. Yes, welcome to the paddock. To the pasture. We're glad to have you. Absolutely. I'm so glad Miss Paula got it. She deserves it. Absolutely. Absolutely justice for Timmy. Yep, you're talking about the I-70. Yep. Yeah, Dave keeps saying that he's going to do he's talked about it before briefly, or, in some of his live streams, but he covers kind of like we do here, numerous different topics in one live stream when he does his the Week in True Crime. Yeah, he's talking about he's gonna have to do like a whole live stream just about this case, about the I-70 case, and about the debate about, or not debate, but about how a lot of serial offenders are thought to possibly be truck drivers, long haul truck drivers. He's very interested in that too. What are you talking about? JP says, I guess life was cheap. Talking about the cash taken. Yeah, they said not much cash was taken in each, so that was not the primary. So I guess that was just secondary. He's like, I guess maybe he thought, I'm in here taking somebody's life. I might as well take whatever money's here too. I don't know. Yes, absolutely terrifying. See, and I don't understand why in the one case, which is one of the cases that is linked to him, it's the one where was it the one where the two were killed at the shop? They were waiting for a customer to come in for the cummerbund, and the offender came in and took their lives, and then the person who was actually, because they thought that it was him, was the customer, and then the actual customer came in when the offender was leaving, and why didn't he take his life? I mean, thank God he didn't. But did he have a mask on? Why, if he could identify, I don't understand that. But anyway, Miss Barbara says, I was the same age at that time. It was scary. I bet. You're most welcome. or yeah, I'm Miss Farr. Absolutely. Oh man, you actually lived in St. Charles at that time? Wow. I bet it was absolutely terrifying. What is UMG? JP says now UMG wants to sign. Maybe I thought of UFC. Anyway, is that some kind of management something? Stop what? Stop what? Oh, see now I'm getting down to where you're talking about cake. Yes. Artist says cake is Miss Doodle's department. Oh, now y'all got my sweet tooth acting up. Far says Doodle is always good for cake. Doodle says you bet your biscuits always bring cake. Speaking of biscuit, well, I had to lock Biscuit out, or we would have had a very, very lively, interesting live stream if he was co-hosting. He's been, I don't know, he's been getting the zoomies, crazies really bad, like the past 2 or 3 nights. I mean, I'll be dead ass asleep and I'll feel something run across my bed and on top of me, and then stuff will start crashing, and I'm like, what the just happened? And it was Biscuit with, I don't know, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and he's running amok. Anyway, but we love him. We don't know what we'd do without the furry little booger, without either one of our furry little babies. JP wants to wear the cake. Okay, JP. Oh, goodness. Doodle says, never leave home without cake. It is standard procedure. SOP, standard operating procedure. That's a good point. Arctic says Ellie needs to go on the collector gun Reddits and see who all has posted this model of firearm. That is excellent. Excellent idea. Yeah, because that is a very, once again, let me put it back up there. Let me find it. I mean, I've seen a lot of different firearms in my life, but I have never seen, because I was trying to, before I read that part about one of the witnesses described it as looking like an Uzi. I'm like, yeah, it does kind of, because the barrel is so long. Yeah, that's very, very unique. Most definitely. Well, JP, you are the one that brought it up. Now JP says, now I need cake. I'll take chocolate. JP says chocolate. Oh, chocolate carrot cake. I've never had chocolate carrot cake, but I don't. My my baby brother likes carrot cake. It's okay, but I'd rather have chocolate cake. Miss Barbara wants all cake. Yeah, I'd probably eat any kind of cake. Are you talking about the Doodle says half of St. Charles looks like that. Are you talking about the let me move this, the sketches? I don't think I've ever been to St. Charles, Missouri. May have been through it. I know when we were younger, my uncle would take hunting dogs to dog shows up in Missouri, and we would go up there sometimes, but I don't remember exactly where in Missouri it was. Thank you, Miss Farr. Thank you so much for being here. She says, not all great live, Southern Gal. Thank you. You know, you guys make it great. I'm just here babbling in the camera. Thank you, mods, chat. Stay safe, live and light all. Absolutely. Miss Miranda. has been a member for over a year now, 15 months. She says, thanks for 15 months. Thank you for being a member for 15 months. So we get to put another cow in the pasture. Let's go the wrong way trying to find the cow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Miss Miranda, 15 months. It's good to see you, Miranda. I was thinking about you the other day. I'm trying to think of, somebody mentioned, somebody, I can't remember who it was. Can't remember who was mentioning about some people that we haven't seen around in a while. What we were worried about, and now I can't think of. And they were regulars that would come in either my live streams. I would see them in other, like a Mr. Steve chats. I can't remember who it was now. Yeah, Mustang says this guy's probably dead by now. Possible. Yeah, like I said, he could be anywhere from 50 to 70 as of now, 2025, because they back then in 90, 95, mid 90s, they said they thought he was between 20 in his 20s or 30s. Did it ever say the color of the eyes? I don't think it did. Miss Barr says, I might know. I wonder what color the eyes are. I don't think it, let me go back. I think all it gave was a hair color was reddish and stubbly beard, but I don't think it ever gave eye color. Trying to get back to the article. Well, come on. Go back to Wikipedia. Now, I know somewhere in here it gave a description. I don't think it anywhere ever mentioned. Okay, so the I-70 killer was described as being a thin white man in his 20s or 30s, 5'7" to 5'9", with lazy eyelids and sandy blonde or reddish hair. No mention of eye color. Doodle says he does favor a panhandler on Delmar. This is true, sadly true. Arctic says $100 back then could buy a month's worth of groceries. Yeah, now you couldn't even get, I don't even know if you can get a week's worth of groceries for $100 now. Oh, goodness. Yeah, Miss Paula agrees. Thank you, Mustang says this is one of the best chats on YouTube, in my opinion. Thank you. Yes, we have a awesome, wonderful community. There's Fritzl from watching from Poland. Hello, hello. Another longtime supporter of the channel from the very beginning. Good to see you all the way from Poland. Now Miss Paula says, what happens if you take the cake to a restaurant? Okay, so Arctic, going back to, once again, let me find it. Oh, there it is. Dadgummit, I lost it. There it is. The gun says it was only manufactured for 2 years, so it's a very rare firearm. Interesting. Yeah, I'm thinking, yeah. Because they said they were asking firearm collectors, firearm enthusiasts to, keep an eye out if they at gun shows If they see this type of weapon come through, I mean, who knows? You know, the odds are probably astronomical that it will actually be the same weapon, but you never know. I mean, you never know. Anything is possible. Absolutely. Yeah, Miss Barbara says you would think it would be easy to find then. Yeah. Are you talking about Missouri? Doodle says nothing to stop for, really, just zoom on through locked doors. Yeah, like I said, we would go up to Missouri, and oh my God, probably 45 years. I'm 50. How old am I now? 54. 54. And when we were kids, like I said, when my uncle would go up for dog runs, dog shows, up somewhere in Missouri. I can't remember exactly where it was at. We would go sometimes. My grandparents would load us all of the grandkids up, and we would all go and, you know, make a weekend of it or whatever. But I can't remember exactly in Missouri it was. I'll have to ask Mom. I'm sure she'll remember. Doodle says, has anyone seen Brian Hoffman? Is that someone that's been in chat? That name doesn't sound familiar to me. I'm trying to think. Chris sent me Facebook Messenger somebody who was a regular in chat that's sick, had a what did he say? Maybe water on the lung, on the or water around the heart. I can't think of who it is. Goodness gracious, shame on me. So Doodle says he hasn't replied to any of my emails, and I haven't seen him on YouTube at all. I guess I don't know. I've never heard Brian Hoffman. That doesn't sound familiar. Miss Barb says, let me take this down so we can see the Miss Barb says he looks like my ex-husband, seriously, if he has blue eyes. Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, but I guess all the witnesses. Sorry, now the kids are. I'm telling you, these kids sound like my grandpa used to. These darn kids up and down the road with their loud pipes on their trucks. It could be my nephew. Who knows? Now I forgot what I was saying. The witness that got miraculously thankfully got away, let him go. You would think maybe he would have noticed eye color, but then again, I mean, who's to say? Oh shoot! I thought I deleted all the comments. I mean, unless I mean, I can't speak for y'all, but unless I'm actually put in that situation where something like that happens and somebody very close to me was put in a bad situation. I mean, I couldn't say that I could tell you. I probably could not. My sketch would be like these sketches. They probably would look nothing like whatever the offender. I couldn't say that I would notice hair color, eye color, what they were wearing. I mean, whatever. Any scars or tattoos. I would like to think that I would, but unless I'm ever, God forbid, I hope I'm never put in that position, I couldn't say that, what I would remember and what I wouldn't, Now, Chopper sounds familiar. Yeah, regardless of, I hope they are. And I'm trying to think of, Barbara says, I don't know if I've heard of Del Mar. Miss Barbara says, never go to Del Mar if you're in Missouri. Okay, Arctic says, well, there's a reason they're called ginger snaps. Oh, Echoes is still here. He's booing. Boo. He's still here. He's haunting. He's lurking. Are you still at work? He's back. Are you home? Are you home now, bub? Yeah, you might. You're gonna make Doodle toot. Oh goodness. Oh, so now I want to take Doodle to a haunted house and have a recorder going. Oh, Echo says that's not his kink. Oh Lord, you better watch out. Miss Echoes is gonna get you. Oh goodness. Yep. We Echoes, in case you didn't know, we adopted Miss Barb. She is now you have another sister, whether you wanted one or not, and she might probably throw brushes at you too. If I know Miss Barb, which I think I know. Oh, thanks a lot, dude. Appreciate that. Oh my goodness. Brothers, can't live with them, can't kill them. Well, you could, but yes, we adopted Miss Barb. Yep. You talking about your ex-husband? Miss Barb says he did go to jail for 18 years. Miss Paula says the suspect looks about 18. Yeah, that's true. Well, they said he could, they ranged it anywhere from 20s to 30s. Good Lord, that's a lot of wheelchairs. I can tell you from experience are not light. Echo says, I'm home from work. I had to go help load 30 wheelchairs into a flight before I left. Why did you have to load 30 wheelchairs onto a flight? Wheelchairs are freaking heavy. When I was doing home health caregiving, and I had two clients, there was a husband and a wife that I took care of, and she had just a regular wheelchair, and then he had a motorized wheelchair. Or no, he had a regular wheelchair too. Anyway, and having to lift them things up and put them in the truck, holy moly, they're heavy. And those ones they had were the newer model lightweight ones. They weren't that much lighter weight, I can tell you. Okay, so your ex. Okay. Arctic says, a warning to Echoes, Doodle eats a steady diet of eggs. Those toots could be lethal. Oh my goodness gracious. I love y'all. So now I want to know, I don't know if he's going to answer me, why he had to load 30 wheelchairs into a flight. Oh, there we go. Okay. So it says there was a ping pong team from Korea that all are wheelchair users. They came in from Korea and went out on another flight. Gotcha. Okay. I was like, what? Yeah, I'm telling you. So did they go under? I guess they would have had to go in the baggage compartment. Wow. He says, totally true story. Oh, I believe you. I believe you. I was just wondering. I was like, 30 wheelchairs. So did they have like let me read a tournament? We're having a ping pong tournament somewhere around. Yeah, how's your back after? Yeah, exactly. Miss Barb wants to know how your back is after. Yeah, he said, yeah, they were the light sport wheelchairs. Okay. Doodle says she would need a wheelchair after all that. I'm telling you, wheelchairs are not light. They are not light. All right, I think that is all we had for tonight. If there's anything else that you guys want to talk about, or think about? My brain is. We've been on here 3.5 hours. So tomorrow night, I think Chris, was it Chris? Somebody said they were in. So maybe tomorrow night we'll do some, have a little bit of fun with some conspiracy theories if you guys want to. Anybody who wants to join, about the same time, about 8:30 Central Time, because I did find a list of top 10 that has come from watchmojo.com. It had a cool website. It's got a lot of interesting articles about different stuff, true crime, conspiracy theories, paranormal. But I found 2 articles. One is a top 10 true crime conspiracy theory list, and then there's one 18 viewer submitted like 18 conspiracy theories that people had. So if you guys want to, whoever wants to come and join in, hang out, have some fun, talk about whatever, talk about it, get your tinfoil hats on, and we will talk about some conspiracy theories, and we can talk about non-true crime conspiracy theories, whatever happens to pop up. We can do that. All right. Hold on, a whole bunch of things popped up. Oh, I remember the hover rounds. Doodle said the hover rounds. Now those are heavy. I believe you. Oh goodness. Thank you, Mustang. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everything. Echo says, I'm thinking about people playing ping pong in wheelchairs. I mean, I've seen people play, you know, like basketball and stuff like that in wheelchairs, but ping pong, never seen that. Definitely interesting. Thank you, Arctic. Everybody, please check out Arctic. He is amazing. Please check out Doodle. She is amazing. Please check out Miss Barbara. Oh yeah, Timmy's Legacy. If somebody can pop the link in for that. Oh, Miss Barb says, I'm going to be on a large channel Wednesday night at 7:30. Tell him, what are you going to be on? What channel? So we can watch or be on Replay Crew. Thank you, Miss Doodle. You're amazing. Love you, love you. Please check out Miss Doodle. Thank you once again, Mustang. Arctic says he's in. Sounds good. I'll bring the tinfoil. Yeah, that reminds me of, I have to download a picture. I don't know if any of you guys watch, it's a YouTube channel called the Y-Files. I think AJ is the host, and he has Heckle Fish. It's like a computer animated little fish in a bowl, but there's a tinfoil hat over the fish bowl. Hilarious. Anyway, so now when I think of tinfoil hats, I think of Heckle Fish. Thank you, Miss Paula said she'll be on the live stream or on the stream. Yes, absolutely. Miss Barbara will be telling Timmy's story. Hoffa, yeah, we can talk about Jimmy. Oh, yeah, we can go down the Jimmy Hoffa rabbit hole, most definitely. Yes, we can. We have a new conspiracy theory. Mr. Steve, Bigfoot, and Batman, are they all 3 one and the same? We have invented a new conspiracy theory. Oh, Mr. Steve's probably going, oh, my Lord, what are they doing to me? Yes, absolutely. Everybody stay safe. Thank you, Miss Doodle. There is Timmy's Legacy channel. Please do check it out. Oh, the Drunk Turkey Show. Excellent. Wednesday. Let me go back and see. Wednesday, did she put a time in? 7:30? Is that 7:30 Central Time? I'll look it up. I've watched the Drunk Turkey Show before. Really? Artist says, did you know the inventor of the Segway rode one off of a cliff to his death? Are you being serious? No, I did not know that. Wow. I would never be able to ride one of them Segways. I'm not that coordinated enough. So Miss Barbara says she's going on the Drunk Turkey Show Wednesday night, 7:30 Central. Excellent, ma'am. Oh, you got Echo's attention, Arctic, with the Segway. Yes, that West Memphis 3 definitely, most definitely has conspiracy theories. Doodle, me too. Doodle says, I've looked like a drunk turkey a few times with that man. Yes, that counts. Now I'm thinking about wild turkey. Good Lord, back in the day in high school, we drank a lot of wild turkey. Maybe that's why I have so many tummy problems now. Paula says a drunk horse. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. It's 3.5 hours. Thank you so much. Love everybody. You talking about wild turkey? Telling you, that's some rough stuff. We drank some. Almost said drunk turkey. Wild turkey. Mad Dog MD 2020. Oh, good Lord, all the hard stuff, straight. I mean, no mixing, no chasers, just, oh, Lord have mercy. Anyway, thank you, Bubba, for being here with your 2 sisters that you have now. All right, so thanks, everybody. Hopefully I'll see whoever wants to talk about some conspiracy theories tomorrow night. Yeah, I'm telling you, I don't know how my stomach is probably gut rot. I'm telling you. What are you doing? What is this? What is this? What are y'all doing? Y'all scaring me. Oh, thank you, Miss Barbara. Yes, good night, everybody, and stay safe out there. Absolutely. Don't be paranoid. Just be aware. Don't be scared. Be prepared. Be aware of your surroundings. Take care of each other. And hold on, I'm trying to multitask. I will see you guys. Find the right. As usual, we're going to leave you with the little fur babies until I got to get a new outro made and a new intro made. But anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Thanks, guys.